Hello. Hello, hello. Is this thing working? I have no idea. Clover, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Fart Pants McDingle. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's everyone doing? Inugami, good to see you. Good to see you, friend. Glad you could stop by. Doo-doo head. These names are on point. These names are on point. Hello. Hello, Supriya. Hello, stranger. Good to see ya. Just frickins. Fricksons? Just friends? Good to see you. Happy to have you here. Come on in, come on in. Kyle, are the bootleg Mechagodzilla 21 figures any good? I don't know, actually. What I will say is I have the normal Mechagodzilla 21 figure, and it's pretty good, but the quality I think could be better. Pandu Allen, it's the man of the hour. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you. I see you have a bunch of those reaction blind boxes. I do actually. I have all 5 of the figures from the series, but I've got, is it 4 or 5 boxes remaining that I haven't opened? So yeah, I just trying to figure out what to do with them. My name is Franz. The X is there for fun. Sounds good. Joe Smo, hello, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Pandu, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Clover does junk. You found the Godzilla X Kong Battle Roar figures. Yeah, so I don't know if you saw my video where I was talking about Godzilla X Kong, but I thought that the Battle Roar figures from Godzilla vs. Kong were kind of bad. And I was surprised to see that Playmates went all in on more. And they made them like even better. Like the fact that like Kong and Scar King's like face shifts around as you do it is actually pretty cool. Supriya is hyped. Is Godzilla X Kong Goji tail or Shin Goji's tail better? Well, Shin Goji's tail is longer and it has like a human jaw at the end, so that's pretty cool. Your daughter is asleep round 1. Good luck. Good luck. For everyone who's wondering, this is Mrs. Kaiju Canuck in the chat. Sabrina is Mrs. Kaiju Canuck. She's being a champ. She's taking care of our daughter. She's absolute champion. Very, very grateful. And she's taking care of our daughter tonight while I'm doing this. So if we can get respect in the chat or love in the chat for Mrs. Kaiju Canuck, that's fantastic. Michael Romero, I didn't expect Kong to fight Shimo. You and me both. You and me both. Harold is here. Welcome, Harold. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. What is it? 8:35? 835 in Taiwan. Pandu, we want to see those Godzilla X Kong Battle Roar Scar King jaw articulation on the Monster Arts or the Haya. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? It would be a shame if Playmates on like a $30 figure could do better than Haya or Monster Arts for sure. There you go. From Pandu for Mrs. Kaiju Canuck, many love emojis. You love to see it. Thank you, Pandu. You have major respect for Mrs. Kaiju Canuck. You and me both. She's doing a great job. Captain McKay, welcome in. Congrats on 2K. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very kind. Very, very kind. Doodoo Head, how do you grow so fast on YouTube? Any tips? So we'll actually talk about it a little bit. I'd be happy to talk about it. But one thing I'd love to share with you guys is that this is not my first YouTube channel. Like, I have tried a different YouTube channel and it did not work. I've been uploading to that channel for like the better half of 5 years, and like I still get stuff that it just sits at no views, right? So there's definitely a process to it, and I have it. Like, this is my second go, and it's going really well. So I'm not going to act like I'm a genius or anything, but definitely can talk a little bit about it for sure. Battle Roar figures are scary to say the least. Yeah, but they're super cool. It would be cool if they did the jaw articulation on Kong just like how NECA did. NECA didn't have jaw articulation on their Kong figure, did they? I have it in my closet, I think. Harold, you're getting ready for story time class for the kids. Very cool. I think it's so cool that you're a teacher, Harold, that you own your own educational institution. That's awesome. Just Ron, since it's the Year of the Dragon, my mother took my Bandai King Ghidorah 2019 at the altar for good luck and wealthiness. That's awesome. That's so cool. Wow. Toku Society, heyo, congrats on the milestone. Thank you, Toku Society. I hope that you're doing well. Toku Society, one of the OG believers in Kaiju Canuck, at least on Twitter. Captain McKay, my Super 7, Meltdown Godzilla, and Destoroyah arrived your last stream, and I really like them both. I'm running out of room, but rather than slowing down on figures, I bought a new shelf. I bought 3 new bookshelves. I replaced my Detolfs with 3 large bookshelves, and they are like 75% full. I should be okay for a few more waves of Super 7 Ultimates, but after that, I'm in some serious trouble. NECA, Skull Island, Kong, and then Captain McKay. So their second wave of Kongs had the jaw articulation. Okay, I only picked up the first round, so that's probably why. Concrete Jungle version. Okay, so that's the one with the planes, I think. Yeah, I kind of fell off with the NECA Kong stuff, because I got the first one, and that's all I wanted. But the one with the plane was really tempting. I think they sell it here at Toys R Us Canada, but it's like 60 Canadian dollars, which I think is, I want to say that's 40. That's about 42. It's about 42 or 43 US dollars they sell it for equivalent, which is like absurd, right? Like, I'm not paying that much for a NECA figure, especially if they are so fragile. Plague Doctor, welcome in. I got Playmates Godzilla X Kong stuff. I put them in a huge box. Yeah, their stuff is awesome. I love this. Wait a second. Phantom Bot? You're one of my favorite YouTube channels. Thanks, and you donated $5. Phantom Bat, not bot, bat. Phantom Bat. Thank you so much. That is so kind. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Phantom Bat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. I'd have to give you a shout out in my slides, but I've already made them, so I'm sorry about that, but thank you. That's so kind. Thank you so much. That's so appreciated. Pandu, I would want to see a NECA Retosaurus or more underappreciated retro kaiju from NECA. Yeah, I agree. Doodoo Head, Kyle, you in Canada too, same, and it's sad. It's harder to get good monster arts and high figures at a decent price around here. Yeah, that's true. Amazon, I got an order in Amazon Canada for the King Ghidorah. It was shipped and sold from Amazon Canada, and they canceled my order. Like, it was just like a system error. They canceled my order when I guess it didn't ship on time. And this was after I sold my other Ghidorah. And so I am out a Ghidorah. I think I'll get it from Toy Snowman on my next paycheck. But yeah, like, it's kind of hard to get distribution for Godzilla stuff up here. Oh, the Hugbox Discord. Gotcha. 60 Canadian dollars is 44.50 USD. No wonder Toys R Us US went out of business. Yeah, I think that the higher prices at Toys R Us Canada here are like the death throes of a dying business, unfortunately. Like, even your standard Marvel Legend is inflated by, I want to say, 20% up here. So, you know, it's rough goings. Hey man, congrats on the 2K. Thank you very much, Kaiju Fan 1954. It's all thanks to folks like you. Asked this during the live stream the other day, but felt it was appropriate to mention it again. Godzilla 2000 is Jerry Rivera for real, for real. I still don't know what that means, but I will take your word for it. Louis Duran. Louis, I watched your video the other day. I think it was your video, the Super 7 hunt for Ultimates Wave 3. That was a lot of fun. And the story you went to made me very, very jealous. I felt very, very jealous. I would love a Super 7 San Diego 2-pack, Charles Barkley, and Godzilla. Yeah, Super 7 also wants to do that, but I think the rights for Charles Barkley are pretty much inaccessible, unfortunately. But from what I understand, Toho was down. I think Toho was down to clown with that. But no, unfortunately, I don't think anything's going to happen on the Charles Barkley side. Any news when the new reaction figures come out? So I believe Big Bad Toy Store had them up for February. I believe they had them up for this month. So let me double check. Because typically the way it works is whatever Big Bad Toy Store's timing is, Super 7 gets them in like 30 days before that. Something like that. Let me just double check this for you. Anguirus 55. Yeah, so Big Bad Toy Store still has it listed for February 2024, which means that it should be any day now. It should be any day now that we should expect those reaction figures. Thinking about Monster Arts 1954, which is 130 Canadian. Yeah, I don't have that figure because I have the NECA 1954, and I love that figure. I think I don't really need another one. But yeah, the fact that we still have 1954 available to us is pretty cool. Who would win, Godzilla -1 or Kong? I feel like -1 clears Kong, like any form of Kong. I don't even think it's close. Also, currently posing Hayatoy's Mothra, and I'm not liking the included stand. Yeah, so I made the joke about that in my Burning Goodwill video. I said that Hayatoy's makes flight stands that might actually be worse than nothing at all. Pandu, so I guess Canadians got the same issues with us here in Indonesia. The price here got increased significantly as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer because like Canadians were neighbors to the folks in the US, but we are still treated as international partners. And so we have to pay the import tax basically. Which is unfortunate. So the like the Playmates Godzilla X Kong stuff, all of it is inflated by, I want to say, like 25% the price, because they have to go through a business, I think it's called Import Dragons or Import Dragon, who imports the Playmate stuff and then sells it, but they have to make a profit off of it. So it's really unfortunate. Plague Doc, anyway, how are you? You know I'm the same Plague Doc from Discord, right? Plague Doc, I know exactly which Plague Doctor you are, and I'm happy to have you here. I'm doing well, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I think last time you had to leave to play Roblox with your friends. I believe so. So I hope you're doing well. I would not be surprised if Canada Toys R Us goes out of business. Yeah, you and me too. BBTS is lagging on Haya King Ghidorah. It should be any day now. Lewis, thanks for watching, my man. Truly appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Lewis. Keep fighting the good fight. I love doing those toy hunts. So they're so much fun. Yeah, loads of people ask me where that store is, and I'm like, I hope you live in Wisconsin. I actually Googled it afterwards, because some of the B-roll footage you had reminded me of Pittsburgh, because I have family in Pittsburgh. And so I just wanted to make sure that, you know, if it was in Pittsburgh, I would pass by on the way there. But no, that was an awesome video. Mike sponsors, congratulations. Thank you, Mike. You know, Mike's a good friend that I've made along this journey. Mike's a great guy. You should definitely go check him out. He's awesome. Highest flight stand for Rodan is unfortunately horrendous. It took me a bit to get Rodan steady. Yeah, I have a couple of the dynamic NECA flight stands that I think they stopped making them, but it was the ones with like the suction cups. And I still have a couple of those mint in box, and I have a Haya Rodan on order. But I think that's how I'm going to use it. I don't think I'm even going to bother with the Haya one. Super 7 Destroyer is 150. Is that 150 US, Pandu? You're waiting for a clearance sale. It's a shame. I love Demon Crab. Yeah, I love my Crab Satan too. Clover, I think I got banned from Kaiju Hugbox server by Lane. Lane is not in Kaiju Hugbox. So I don't know who would have done that. It's sad how the only good Godzilla games are on Roblox. It's funny. Like, I was given a lot of thought to like what would make a good Godzilla game. No, not just a good Godzilla game, but like a successful Godzilla game, like commercially. I have some ideas. I don't know how to make a video game, but I would love to do it. Did you hear Toho might crack down on fan art? Mike's Monster has more info on it. I have heard about that, and I am planning to make a video on it, actually. Doo-Doo Head. Kyle, have you noticed that Toys R Us is changing their stores up, targeting it at teenagers and young adults? I'm near one that got renovated a lot for teenagers. The ones that are near me, I've noticed that they've put a lot of more emphasis on their like adult collectors sections, which is pretty cool. You know, more and more with the times that, you know, we grown-up kids are interested in this stuff. Mike's Monsters, you are awesome. No, Mike, you're awesome. Have you heard about Toho cracking down on kaiju games? Yes, I am planning to make a video on the current situation with Toho. Lewis, congratulations on 2,000 subs. Let's get you to 10K. Should be a fun journey. Let's do it. As long as people keep watching, I'm gonna keep going. My Haya's Rodan flight stand got stuck to the base. It's wild to me that Haya's stuff, as good as the toys are, that the flight stands are so like unimpressive. Glad we've connected on our respective creator journeys. You and me both, Mike. And then shout out to Harold over at Figure Mania Show. I don't know if he's still here, but you know, he's done a lot of work trying to connect folks and creators within the community. I've met a lot of people through Harold. He's doing fantastic work over on the Figure Mania show. Haya needs to update their stands and the adapter piece too. I love Monster Arts Cradle adapter. I agree. Okay, so that it is $150 for that Destoroyah. So that's an inflation of like, oh, like 38%. That's brutal. Gonna end up getting some Bandai Act 5 Tamashii stands. Yeah, if I had a place to get them economically viable, I would do it. Plague Dog says, I have a tradition where I watch every Godzilla film with friends. I've been doing it since 2019 King of the Monsters. That's awesome. I did it a little bit with my friends when I was younger, but they grew out of Godzilla. Unfortunately, those losers. I don't know why you're banned either. Maybe I'll ask one of the folks that run the server. Gigabash is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The Roblox Godzilla games got banned by Toho and Legendary. What are the good ones? Changed all the names to avoid it. Interesting. The only MonsterVerse Rodan and Mothra I have are the NECA ones, and I like them fine. Rodan's wings kind of droop when he's on the stand, but otherwise I don't need the imports. Yeah, I have both Mothras, the normal and the poster color version. They're both holding up great. They look fantastic. I know some folks have had them where they've disintegrated. My Rodan has the same issue. The wings are really sensitive and they might droop. So I am looking to upgrade to the Haya. But other than that, like I of all the Rodan stuff out there, like I always thought that NECA's coloring on the Rodan was the best. More of the Monsters from PS2 was I never got a chance to play it, unfortunately. What is your original kaiju that's in your emotes and profile picture? I'm curious. I don't have a name for the mascot of the channel. I should figure that out. Maybe I'll do it in a way that, like, you know, maybe the channel members help me out with naming this kaiju. But I don't have a name for this kaiju. Shout out to Harold. Absolutely. Harold's doing a great job. Captain McKay, I miss Toys R Us. Before they closed, mine was getting Figure Art Storm collectibles, lots of NECA. Just crazy seeing that stuff on retail shelves at the time. Yeah, so our Toys R Us up here in Canada have those. They have a lot of the NECA stuff. They don't have Figure Arts or Storm collectibles as far as I know. They might have Figure Arts. But they're getting a lot of good stuff on. They're getting a lot of good stuff. I do stop motions. I might do a recreation of some scenes in Godzilla. Stop motion's hard, man. If you do that, you know, more power to you. Kaiju have Risen changed their name to Monsters Game. Is that Monsters Game? Yes, Captain McKay, his stop motion stuff is fantastic. I definitely recommend checking out his work. Thoughts on the upcoming Ling Jihun Pacific Rim figures? So, I think that they look fantastic. The Jaegers look really good. The fact that they're doing Slattern and the Kaiju is really interesting to me. And I was, you know, perfectly happy to not pick them up. And then the last stream we did over on Figure Mania show, G Forever had his in hand and he showed it on stream, and I was like, okay, well, I have to pick up the Crimson Typhoon. So I have the Crimson Typhoon on order from toysnowman.com, and I'm hoping to get it sometime soon and open it up and to take a look at it. For the Keemstar clone, you are at least you're chill. Well, thank you. Titanus Canuck. Listen, I'm not going to take naming suggestions from Fart Pants McDingle. I'm just kidding. You can get War of Monsters digitally for PS4. Oh, can you actually? Maybe I'll pick that up. That's what I say about NECA Burning Godzilla 2019. It definitely has the best, most accurate paint job compared to Monster Arts and Haya. Yeah, I have that one too. I really like the NECA one. And I think if I didn't have that one, I would feel more compelled to get the Haya version. I still would like to get the Haya version. If I can get a good price on it. You started collecting NECA December last year, and it's tough because they don't make them anymore. I somehow got 4 though. So I've heard whisperings that NECA is interested in getting the license back. I don't know if we're ever going to find ourselves in a situation where they have that opportunity, but apparently they are interested in from what I've heard, they are interested in getting the license back. Heisenberg, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you and the family and your dogs are doing well. Is anybody here getting SH Monster Arts Godzilla 72? I'm not. I'm not planning to. But yeah, is anybody else planning to? At Heisenberg, we need to cook. My wife and I, we just finished her first watch through of Breaking Bad. And I think she liked it. Plague Doc, I've got writing classes, so I'm just working on my passion for creating stuff with that. That's awesome. Writing is a very important skill. I hope you do well with it. You're learning world building. That's awesome. Very difficult to do. Very difficult to do, but you got to practice, make perfect. Heisenberg, yes, time to go to the lab. Pandu, I kind of wish that Ling Jahun would make them at 5 to 6 inches. I would want them to be shorter than my kaiju figures. Yeah, well, they scale well with the NECA stuff, which I'm kind of glad for. Because if you got some of the NECA Pacific Rim stuff, but not others, I think it also technically scales with the Diamond Select. So it's nice to have that option to substitute in where you might not have gotten those other figures. The only imports I've seen in a US retail store are the entry-level figure arts that are $35. The last time I was in Target, I was visiting Michigan for a wedding, and they had the Godzilla vs. Kong figures too. Captain McKay, I wouldn't mind seeing NECA get the Godzilla license back. A lot of the ones they did at the end of the run were nicely done. I agree. Late stage NECA Godzillas actually looked pretty good. I think there was a little bit of work to be done on the facial likeness, but far better than they started with the line. Would love to have NECA make a comeback making kaiju figures. Doesn't have to be Godzilla though. Yeah, I agree. I am waiting for someone to do another go at the Cloverfield monster. I would be so happy. Play Dog, I'll buy anything that's not SH Monster Arts. After my first figure ever, Gamma Rebirth sucked. That's unfortunate. I have Gamma Rebirth, and I liked mine. You got the 72 Godzilla pre-ordered, saw it at New York Comic Con in person, and it's beautiful. That's awesome. I would love to go to one of the big comic conventions and meet some of these folks, but our conversion rate sucks, and I have a family now, so so that's kind of in the way. Yo, what's up, my man? You're awesome. No, Mekko Jerry, you're awesome. Thank you for being here. Doo-doo head. I feel like all the 2019 Burning Godzillas have an accurate paint. I feel like we need a solid black one with neon orange in between the scales with a wash. I'm no painter, so I can't really complain. I think there's room for a more accurate Burning Godzilla, but I do like that they're all fairly different. At least the NECA from the Haya. The Haya and the Monster Arts look a little bit more similar. Congrats on finding all the Godzilla X Kong toys for Lewis. Yeah. Happy hunting. How many kaiju hats do you have, Kaiju Canuck? I have just this one. I also actually this is not true. I have this one and I have a toque, a Godzilla toque, which I'll have to post a photo. If you guys are familiar with the man in the suit, the analog horror that unknowingly does, my Godzilla logo looks similar to his design, which is weird because I got my hat like 3 years ago before he was doing this stuff. So I have 2 hats. What do you think is the first Godzilla movie you will show your kid? Because even the most kid-friendly ones have some scary and violent stuff. It's a good question. I've been thinking about this one. Maybe Son of Godzilla? That might be a good one to start with. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm happy to take suggestions. I've been tempted to get the Monster Arts Blue Eyes White Dragon after seeing it in Steven's toy reviews. Yeah, I haven't followed too much about it, but people, I think by and large, are quite happy with that figure. You got to go to G-Fest one day. One day, I would love to go. Clover does junk. Oh, I heard Cloverfield. I would definitely want a new official Cloverfield figure, despite me having custom one I made and the OG Hasbro figure. The more Cloverfield, the better. My Gamera Rebirth also sucks, Doc, but I managed to sold mine off and replaced it with the Kyoto version. That one's nice and it got no issue. I would like the Kyoto Gamera 3 one to go with my Iris Final. I don't have the Iris Monster Arts. There's no chance I'm paying that much money for it. Favorite figure of all time, or at least top 5? Top 5 would be hard. But if you watched the Figure Mania show last week, I have the NECA Otachi with the wings, and I added the full tail. That one's, I think, my favorite one. I hope NECA makes Bruce from Jaws one day. They showed a photo of a prototype. They did show a photo of a prototype, and then they acted like it never existed, which is really annoying. It's very, very annoying. Their communication could use some work. Waiting for a Shimo statue. I'm waiting to see more of what Shimo looks like in the movie. They keep showing all this Playmate stuff. I have the Playmate stuff in hand. You know, like I've got 3 Shimo figures already, but they won't show her what she looks like in the movie. Actual real question. Will you get the Kyu wrench? I've heard that the quality on the Kyu wrench is okay. I kind of wanted it, but I don't know. Let's see. Godzilla's Revenge, that might be a decent one to start with. I mean, you start from the bottom. You can only go up from there. Do you have any of the Jada Godzilla X Kong New Empire toys? As far as I know, they have not landed here in Canada yet. I have been keeping an eye out. I have not seen them. Shin Godzilla would be great for a first Godzilla movie. I disagree. I don't think so. But it is one of the better movies for sure. I'm in Canada. I might go to G-Fest to meet up with some online friends. It would be cool if I can meet you there one day if you ever go. I would love to go there someday. I don't know where it is this year. Is it New York? A Xeno Rex figure. Thoughts? Can always use more Xeno figures. Battle Roar Shimo when? Well, if they make Shimo, the question is, are they going to do Shimo in scale? Because if Shimo's going to be in scale, she's going to be like this big. Which I don't know how if you could that conveys anything, but they're going to be big. Shimo figures. The only Monster Arts figures I have are Entertainment Earth Kong. I've got Entertainment Earth Kong. Gamera 2. I've got Gamera 2. And Godzilla Birth. I do not have Godzilla Birth. I do not have that figure. But I do have the other 2. Canuck has seen the Shimo NSFW should be hired for accuracy. No, thank you. And no, I haven't seen the Shimo NSFW. I didn't think it existed, but I'm not surprised. Godzilla 2014 or 98 would be good ones. Those are 2 ones that got me into Godzilla. Yeah, 2014 might be a good one. I guess the question is like, when do I show my daughter Godzilla for the first time? If she's really young, then it has to be like a kid-friendly movie. Otherwise, it'll scare her too much. If G-Fest ever comes to Florida or Utah, I'll go for sure. If it ever comes to Toronto, I'll be there 100%. King Kong versus Godzilla 1962 is best to show a kid. It's goofy. It could get people hooked. It also has a really nice looking suit. That's true. 24-inch Shimo would be a dream. Jesus. It'd be so large. Can't be Showa like King Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Megalon would be my suggestion for your kids' G films. Yeah. Isn't Godzilla versus Megalon... No, Godzilla versus Gigan is really gory, but I don't think Megalon is too bad. Battle of Oroshimo should be a little bit bigger. I agree. I'm looking forward to like Haya, probably Haya at this point, doing an in-scale Shimo, because it was pointed out in one of my YouTube comments that Monster Arts hasn't touched any of the original MonsterVerse Titans. They haven't done Mutos. They haven't done, Skull Crawlers. So I don't know if Monster Arts will get around to a Shimo or a Scar King. I have heard of this one. I have heard that 1954 is a good Monster Arts. Show her -1. My friend, she is 2 months old. I am not showing her -1. Will Playmates make figures of Scar King's goons? I think I saw someone say like they should just redo the heads on the old Kong mold from Godzilla vs. Kong and do that one. That might make sense to do. Big Bad Wolf, are you going to pick up the Ebera sweater from the official site? It is on sale. It's a crew neck. I don't really like crew necks. I get really warm and crew necks make me a little bit too warm. But if it was a hoodie, like a zip up, I would definitely buy it. But here's hoping that Ebera gets more merchandise in the future. Godzilla Hanna-Barbera would be good. That is a very good point. And it's all on YouTube now, I think. Or at least it is for now. Maybe I'll have to download it. Besides Godzilla, is there any other properties you collect? And is there any other properties you wish had more posable figures? So Godzilla is like the big one, right? I've got a couple of Gamera figures. I have almost all of NECA's run of the Pacific Rim stuff. I have a couple of Marvel Legends. I have like the figures of like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina. I got those Marvel Legends just because those figures are of characters that hold a very special place in my heart from my childhood. I have a couple of Transformers figures that my buddy has gifted me. That's about it. Are there other properties you wish had more posable figures? Yeah, like I would love Cloverfield. I think Cloverfield would be a no-brainer. I would also love to see some Dead by Daylight stuff. That game is 5 years old and it has one articulated action figure, which is kind of lame. I think there should be more. Need some more Shimo? Yeah, I agree. The Godzilla 98 cartoon, Godzilla the series. Yeah, that would be really good. For Pence Big Diggle, I feel like the first Godzilla X Kong trailer left a really bad impression, but the second trailer was hype. The first trailer, like I had my concerns with it, even though like I was excited by it. The second trailer is like super hype, right? There is an issue I have with the second trailer that I plan to make a video about in the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that one. I do think that Monster Arts would make a good Shimo figure. I just don't know if they will do it. Am I more excited for Monster Arts Evolved or Haya Evolved? Haya Evolved, because it will take... Haya costs less than half of what Monster Arts cost up here in Canada. So I'm definitely more interested in Haya at this point. But that's just because it's more affordable. And I'm in a place in my life where I value the affordable. Godziban would be cool. I haven't even seen Godziban myself. So maybe that would be a fun journey to go on together. Do you have any CCP Godzilla figure? No, I don't. They never really spoke to me. Hello, Goofy Lizard Boy. Welcome in. Have you read any kaiju-based novels? I read Godzilla at World's End when I was in grade 6. We had to do a book report on a book of our choosing, and that was the book I chose. Judo Head. The Legends Doc Ock uses bendy arms. Does not use ball joints. And they're very stiff. Like, they feel strong. Oh, sorry about that. I live next to a collectible shop that's with a bunch of kaiju stuff and nerds. I just chill there. Everyone is like their 20s or 30s, but they're very chill. That's awesome. Articulated Cloverfield, Disney Dinosaur, Jurassic Park, 98, etc. Yeah, Cloverfield is the big one for me. Yo, if Titanic Creations could do Cloverfield, that would be so cool. I would be so happy. I haven't watched that trailer because it's too long and it spoils too much. I don't think it spoils too much. It definitely shows a lot. And it maybe shows the wrong things. Confirm that Canuck hates the Monsterverse. I do not hate the Monsterverse. I love the Monsterverse. I'm so happy that, like, there is a film series that the next generation of fans can enjoy. Also, like, I put this on Twitter a couple of months ago, but we have a Hollywood movie. A Hollywood movie exists in which King Kong fights Mecha Godzilla. Like, how are you not excited by that? If you just don't like fun, if you are not excited about that. Clover in the last movie is gigantic. Yes. I don't think we've ever gotten official scale on it, but it is gigantic. Who is my favorite kaiju? I really like Iris. I like Godzilla 1955. I like Ebirah, Titanosaurus, and Baragon. Those are my top kaiju. You like Scar King's hairless brother? I don't know what that means. I want to articulate a figure of my favorite Iguana Boy, Zilla. I like the design of Zilla. I think Zilla needs more love. I don't consider Paradox a Cloverfield movie, just something J.J. Abrams put in there to keep it alive. I agree. Paradox is not good. This was Hasbro. What company made the big Cloverfield figure? It was Hasbro. They made a kaiju figure and then never again. Yeah, 98 needs more love. Destroy All Monsters or Final Wars Monsterverse adaptation would be epic. I would not be surprised if they do it. Varan is forgotten? No, Varan is not forgotten. I love Varan. It was just, in the moment, I panicked. And I'm sorry. Varan needs more love. If there was any kaiju they could add to the Monsterverse in their style, what would you choose? Any kaiju. I think Biollante would be awesome. Space Godzilla is a little bit too unrealistic. Destoroyah would be pretty cool too because they had the Oxygen Destroyer and King of the Monsters. So you could probably tie it into that. Biollante or Destoroyah are probably my big ones. You know, Baragon, Titanosaurus, those would be like, you know, back catalog characters, but I think that they could be great too. Amazon Canada has SHMA -1 for 210. Yeah, so like that's my point, right? Like the MSRP for the US is $140. At current conversion, it should be $189. So it's $20 more expensive. Also, earlier in this week, it was $300 on Amazon. They had a pricing error where it was $300. So what the hell? Monsterverse is bringing in new and younger fans. I saw a Reddit post where someone uses the Monsterverse to help teach science to kids. Oh, that's cool. I never thought about it like that, but that would be cool. Varen will come back one day, and Varen will concern with all the merch he's getting right now. Didn't they just announce a comic with Varen? It's like some skater boy, like a skater boy comic, but it was it had Varen in the background. You look like Scar King's hairless brother. Is that a compliment? Do I look like the Scar King's brother? I'll take that as a compliment. Would Haya use bendy wire for Scar King's whip? I think they would. I want Space Godzilla to be the final big bad. I can see Space Godzilla working, especially the way it's going now. Definitely the way that it's going now. Like they're really leaning into the sci-fi aspect. So I would not be surprised. You 3D printed a Monster Art style Geno figure. That's cool. You've seen fan art of these kaiju in Monsterverse style. They look good. I bet they do. Varen should be the final Monsterverse villain. That would be a way to subvert expectations. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So let's go on with the main event of what I wanted to get through tonight, and that was to do a state of the channel. How do I do this? Is this one? No, let's do it like this. I wanted to do a state of the channel address to talk about where we're at right now and where the channel's headed this year, given everything that's been going well with the channel, everything that's been happening in my personal life. So yeah, I just wanted to share sort of all this stuff with you folks because, you know, there is no channel without you as the viewer. Otherwise, it'd just be me rambling into a camera. So let's talk a little bit about where the channel is at. And before I do that, I really wanted to give shout out to the channel members who are helping support the work that I do here on YouTube. So we've got a bunch of members here in Nightwatch. We've got Plague Doc. He's in the chat. We've got Pandu. He's in the chat. Supriya, this is my wife. She's taking care of our baby upstairs while I'm doing this. She's, you know, taking one for the team. We've got MM. He's one of the mods over on the Kaiju Hugbox server. We've got Dunkin' Donuts, Jackson over at Jacksaurus, Alex Santiago, and we've got Dan the Man, Quadruple 7. Thank you all. Thank you to these channel members. They're each paying a few dollars a month to be channel members. They gain access to some pretty fun emojis. They get early access to videos that I publish. You know, I try to get it up like 12 to 24 hours for channel members. But these folks are all paying a little bit of extra money, help support me and the stuff that I'm doing. And I'm very, very, very grateful. So we've got Pandu. Pandu's in here in the chat. We've got Plague Doc. Where is he? Plague Doc. There we go. OG channel member. Second one to do it. Thank you, folks. There is a join button down by my profile picture. Please consider joining for less than $1 a month. You gain all the emojis, early access to videos, whole bunch of cool stuff. And we're having a great time. So yeah, please consider it. So, currently, the channel sits at over 165,000 views and 7,600 hours watched. That is insanity. 7,600 hours. That is 10 and a half months. You guys have watched my content for 10 and a half months. I don't understand. But you can kind of see here, like I started really committed to this channel back in mid-September. And you can sort of see how like I was doing 1 to 2 videos per week and how I had basically no views for a month. Right? So I was just putting content out into the void 1 to 2 times per week. And then around October, I did my video. It was Monster Arts versus Hiya Toys. And I got a little bit of a bump. I got like, I think at the time, I got like 800 views. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot more than 0. And then as time went on, like I got little bumps here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there. A little bit of a bump here. What would that have been? Like November 12th, 13th. I have no idea what video it was. And then November 30th, I don't even remember which video this was, but it exploded to 4,000 views. And then it came back down, still chugging along. And then you get these spikes, massive spike here. Calms down a little bit in the new year. Big, massive spike again. And then here we are around Valentine's Day. So, it's been a really wild ride. And somebody was asking me earlier, like, do you have any tips for success with YouTube? And for folks that weren't here, let me reiterate what I said. This is the second YouTube channel that I've attempted. The first one I uploaded to as recently as like the summer, like this past summer. And that video I think is still sitting at like 1 view. Like that channel has gotten no attention in like the 5 years that I've been tending to it. This one I started, committed to it, mid-September. And I did it because I felt as though there was content on YouTube that wasn't being made that I wanted to watch. And so I decided I would make the content that I wanted to watch. And it has served me quite well, I think. So I think if you are looking to get started on YouTube, and obviously this is just my experience. This is the second channel that I've worked on. This one has done so much better than I would have expected, given how my first one went absolutely nowhere. But my 2 points, I think, are one is to really dig into a niche. Like, don't do what everyone else is doing. Find something that you can offer that is unique. And the second is to believe in the stuff that you're making, like to make the content that you want to watch and to be confident in it. There are so many times where I have been tempted to make content, not because I cared about it, not because I wanted to make it, but because I thought it would be good for the algorithm. Like the fact that my first video that popped off was involving Monster Arts. When I don't collect Monster Arts, I don't really like Monster Arts. Like, I could make a dozen videos on how Monster Arts is in the trash right now, but it would bring me no joy, and I don't want to do that. So long-term sustainability, you want to make sure that you're doing stuff that you believe in and to make the stuff that you want to watch. Michael Romero, I think the first video I watched was Let's Talk About Super 7 Godzilla figures. That was my response to Steven's toy reviews. That was like my first major video when I committed to this. So that's actually really funny. You've been here from the beginning. Broom Criticizer, just dropping it off for my congrats on the milestone. Thank you so much for popping by. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great night. And I hope the rest of your weekend goes well. Lewis, the first video I watched from you was Why Does Toho Hate Showa Godzilla Figures? Love it. Yeah, like that era was when I was filming using my phone. I go back and I look at some of those videos like, man, the quality is not great. But like you have to start somewhere, right? And that's where I started, and it was doing all right. Heisenberg, it's very difficult to be successful on YouTube. It's hard to compete with Baby Yoda, meaning there's a lot of professional online content. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like you can't, like I've had folks ask me like, are you going to do figure reviews? And I don't want to do figure reviews because it's such a saturated market, right? Like you've got Steven's toy reviews, you've got Diego Doom, you've got Shinrob Jira, these guys that are doing fantastic work, and I have nothing to offer that they are not already doing. That's why I don't focus on figure reviews. Hey Kaiju, I'm thinking of running a D&D campaign that's Kaiju themed. Maybe I'll do it in Hugbox, but I've never been a DM, so I'll probably need some help. I'm not a D&D fan. I have no suggestions to offer. But best of luck to you. Sergeant Dormer, congrats, sir. Please keep speaking your mind. As long as you guys are listening, I will keep doing it. Lotaro, good to have you here. Love for Heisenberg. This chat is now a Heisenberg love chat. Everyone, type your love for Heisenberg, please. First video was wrong lessons taken away from -1. I needed a video like that because the Monsterverse I saw made me not want to talk about -1 at all. Cool. All right, so back to over here. All right, so yeah, 165,000 views, 7,600 hours watched. Like, holy shit. First of all, what the fuck is wrong with you all? Why are you watching me so much? Man, I really didn't think that I would get this far, man, because again, my first channel just didn't go anywhere. And so the fact that this has popped off as much as it has is really special. So thank you all. But I wanted to recount my most viewed videos. And I'm sure some of you that like these will be familiar to some of you. But let's talk a little bit about the most viewed. So number 5, top 5, number 5. These might be high as fault. So this was me talking about that disastrous Godzilla X Kong Monster Arts reveal and how just walking through a little bit about why we might be seeing these figures from Monster Arts and coming up with a couple of reasons rather than just saying like, oh, Tamashi's greedy, which they might be greedy. Like I covered in the video, they might just be greedy, but they also might be just looking at ways to like get the most out of their previous molds so that they can fund new sculpts for those figures. Or they might just be getting out of the way of Haya, who's going to offer a very similar product. So that was really funny. You know, that was a good video, performed really well. I think it was because it capitalized on, again, like sort of the negative perception that people have around Monster Arts. But also it was very quick to react to something that had just happened. So I think that one did really well. This one, Godzilla's legacy is being discovered and tarnished by variety YouTubers. So yeah, like Dr. Skipper's video, Nerdstalgic's video. This was a video, was just basically 15 minutes of me being like, why are these people trying to act like they understand this channel? Sorry, this topic, this character. Very, very frustrating, and just talking it through. Hopefully that's the last time. How about Dr. Skipper? We're getting there. We're getting there, Cheeto. Don't worry about it. Next one. Mondo doesn't want you to own their Godzilla figures. This one is really funny because I was just so frustrated with Mondo and I felt like I needed to get my thoughts out there. And for the vast majority of the comments were also like, yeah, Mondo's shit. I don't like buying from Mondo. You know, it's not a pleasant experience, and I don't want I don't want the experience of buying figures to be as unpleasant as it is with Mondo, so I just don't support them. This one, second most viewed video on the channel. My wife guesses the price of my Godzilla collection. So for those who are unaware, this video was my wife's suggestion. And we had so much fun filming this. And I'm so glad to see that it has done so well. For the longest time, this was the most viewed most viewed video on my channel. And, you know, rightfully so. It was so much fun. It was a lot different than I think most of the Godzilla content here on YouTube. I've had a few folks asking like if Mrs. Kaiju Canuck will make a return. Mrs. Kaiju Canuck will make a return. We're currently planning out the next video for her to make an appearance. Probably won't see it for at least a month. Hopefully sooner. But Mrs. Kaiju Canuck is coming back. We have a really, really fun video planned, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you folks. And of course, the number one video, the reaction to Dr. Skipper's video. I had a few folks saying that the response to Dr. Skipper was sort of disproportionate or like over the top. I don't really agree with that. I feel as though this video was trying to capitalize on a trend of like video essays and talking about how -1 has really like set the new standard or has blown, it's crushed woke Hollywood and has destroyed, the monsterverse, whatever. And it's funny to see like he published a video on Call of Duty like a few days later, and the comment section is still like full of people being like, "No, we're not letting you forget this one." Like that Godzilla video was ass. Um, but I think this one, the response to Dr. Skipper, and then this one, the Godzilla's Legacy. I think these two videos alone brought in like 300 subscribers. So lots of folks new to the channel. Maybe you're here tonight. New to the channel. I'm very happy to have you on board. Call of Duty did have a Godzilla cross. Yeah, that's true. The backlash probably wasn't even harsh enough. Maybe. It's so funny to me because like the Godzilla community is like so fragmented at times, and then a video like Dr. Skipper's came out and the whole community collectively was like, "Yo, fuck this guy." I've never seen the community come together like they did when this video came out. It was unreal. So I've got these two videos circled here. Because these two videos followed a similar format where all of my other videos, I write down a lot of notes. I plan out what I want to talk about. I plan out what graphics I'm going to use, all that good stuff. These two videos were more, I wrote down a few notes and I just recorded my raw thoughts. And the second one on the one on the right here, Godzilla's Legacy. Like I even added the subtitle like Canuck Unscripted to differentiate it, to say that this is a video where it's really just my off the cuff thoughts on this topic. I don't really plan it out because it takes a lot of time for me to write out my notes or like my scripts for the videos that I make, to the point where each video takes like 6 to 10 hours start to finish. But these two videos here, the Mondo one and the Variety YouTuber one, or the Godzilla's Legacy one, those two were far easier for me to plan out and to record, and they were received very, very well, and the number of engagements were really high. So I will get back to this point at the end here, but I do plan to do more videos like these two where, I don't go super far into planning out exactly what I want to say. It's more so just like, hey, like this thing is happening. Here are my sort of raw thoughts on the topic. Now, not every video can be a winner. All right, we talked about the top 5, but let's talk about the 2 videos that I am so sad about that they did not perform nearly as well. So the first one here is this one. Shin Godzilla is literally a reactor. This video got 365 views in the 2 months that it's been up. This one was really sad to me because for those of you who don't know, my educational background is in nuclear engineering. And part of my education was going to the Fukushima site in Japan and spending a day with the workers. And so like I know a lot about nuclear engineering. I know a lot about nuclear physics. And this video was me talking about my appreciation for Shin Godzilla and how his behavior in the movie actually models the behavior of a reactor that's going through like not a meltdown, but a reactor accident. And so like this was a video where I was able to combine my professional educational background with, Godzilla and my hobby and my, things that I love. And it was really interesting because it only got 365 views, but the number of people that were subscribing from this video was disproportionately high. So it was a very interesting thing to see. I am sad that this one did not do better. But that's okay. You know, it happens. Not every video is going to be a winner. And this was one where I was very happy about it. I'm still happy about it. Like, I'm still like, that's the thing, right? Like when you make the videos and the content that you want to see, and those videos don't do well, at the end of the day, like, I'm still happy I made it, right? I'm still happy that this video exists, even if not that many people are interested in it. It would be a different story if I made a video that my heart was not into, on a topic that I didn't like, and then see it not perform well. Like, that would be soul crushing. That would be unsustainable. And so I am glad that this video exists, even if it did not do well. This is the singular Lotaro. I'm gonna ban you for that. I've never been so hurt by something that is so true. Okay? Stop it. Cheeto, is the magenta dorsal plates for the Evolved Godzilla accurate to the radiation color? Well, most radiation doesn't have a color. But the magenta color is on the upper end of the visible light spectrum, which means that it's a higher energy than the blue that we are normally used to. So is it accurate? Yes. The magenta coloring would indicate a higher energy level. You like Singular Point? Okay. All right. So that's the first saddest misfire. Second saddest misfire was my Santa Kong video, a kaiju Christmas tale. I put so much effort into this shit post of a video, and I'm so sad that more people didn't watch it. I loved this video so much. I worked so hard to make all the rhymes and stuff work, and it only got 265 views in the 1 month, almost 2 months that it's been up. I don't know if the fact that it came out on Christmas Day when people are busy and they're spending time with their families, like, I'm sure that didn't help with like the perspective of the algorithm. So that's probably what led to it just falling out of obscurity. But also the thumbnail is different than the rest of my videos, right? Like, you don't see me in the thumbnail like this one on the left here. So that might have also led to people not really engaging with it. But yeah, I'm really sad about this one. But the thing is, like, I'm gonna make at least one more. I'm gonna do at least one more Kaiju Christmas Tale, because I think at the time that this one came out, I had like 800 subscribers. And so I've gotten almost 3 times that number now. So maybe, like, if I do another Christmas video, it will do better. But I got at least one more Kaiju Christmas Tale in me. So I thought Santa Kong was really good. Thank you, Kaiju Fan 1954. I'm glad that you liked it. Joe Smo, respect for my boy Santa Kong. Absolutely. Pandu, you didn't watch it? See, you didn't even know that it existed. Yeah. Like, it just fell into obscurity. Skill issue? Wow, brother. Thank you. What's 2 minus 1? Stop it. Same logic applies to the Shin video. Revisit with more subs and a better thumbnail. Yeah. I think that's the play. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how thumbnails work. Right? Like, I've tried, I got to say, like, this style thumbnail where it's me and like a picture in the top left corner, by far the best thumbnails in terms of impressions and engagements. Anytime I do like a different style thumbnail, my click-through ratio drops. So, which is really interesting to see. So I'm still trying to experiment with a thumbnail design. The Circle K GXK stuff is interesting. Is that the food stuff? Because the Godzilla on that stuff looks really weird. Cheeto, speaking of Kong, do you think Kong will get his title King in Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire? I think so. Hey, I'm still figuring it out even after 93K subs, man. I've been doing this for 10 years now. We're all learning. That's the thing, right? We're all learning. We're all learning. Are you surprised that your reaction to the GXK trailer already has 5,000 views? Am I surprised? No, because I think my timing was pretty good on that, right? So I think the I was I try to be smart with some of the stuff that I upload. I try to do it in a timely manner to strike when the iron is hot, right? Like if I uploaded that reaction in like 3 or 4 days from now, it would go nowhere. But because it was on the same day as the actual trailer, it probably got more views than it would have normally. It is the food stuff. Yeah, Godzilla looks really weird on that drink container. There is a planet eater in the universe, aka black hole. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so moving along. Those are my 2 saddest misfires. There are lessons learned to be had here. The point is, though, I will be doing at least one more Kaiju Christmas Tale. So stay tuned for that one. Also, shameless plug. If you are a channel member in December, like when December comes around, if you are a channel member, I will be sending personalized greeting cards to all channel members. So if you are interested, that is part of the deal. Sorry, for category 3 channel members, not all channel members. So we've talked about the highest videos, but I also want to point out the top commenters. There are many folks who are regular repeat viewers of the channel and are regularly engaging with the content that I put out. And so here I've got, I can't count, 13 of the top commenters. Number 1 by far, Pandu Allen. Where is Pandu? I know he was in here before. Pandu, 84 comments, my friend. 84 comments, which is weird because I have less than 84 videos. Kaiju Kitty, 49. Monster Kid Corey, 44. Lataro. We've got Lataro, 35 comments, and only one of those is roasting the absolute fuck out of me. Scorpion, 16, 29 comments. Rouge Block at 20. Robert Crawford at 19. We've got Django Fett at 16. Jarvara at 15. Mike's Monsters at 14. Captain McKay at 12. Dennis James at 12. Mr. Shadow 2X at 12. Now, there might be folks that I'm missing here that might have more comments than some of these folks, but YouTube's like back end in trying to figure out who the top commenters on my streams are or on my videos are is dog water, in the sense that I have to I can't even do it on desktop. I have to do it on my mobile app. I have to go to the comments. I have to click on somebody who's commenting, and then it will tell me how many comments they have. So I might be missing folks here because I have the attention span of a canary. But for everyone that comments, everyone that views, likes the videos, apparently a lot of people share my stuff. Thank you all so much for your support. This goes so far into helping me and helping my videos get out there, have a wider reach. I appreciate this so much. It really means the world to me, and the fact that the stuff that I make resonates so strongly with folks is the biggest indication that I'm doing good stuff. So I am so grateful, so grateful. Now let's talk a little bit about the influence that some of your comments have on the content that I make, because I do go and I read every comment that comes through, and despite the fact that like the vast majority of the comments are pleasant and civil, that doesn't mean that I don't have to deal with shithead comments. I still have shithead comments that come through. So like I had one guy yesterday on my Dr. Skipper video who was like, because in this Dr. Skipper video I said like how I don't like CinemaSins, and this guy is just like, well, if you don't like CinemaSins, it's probably because you're too ignorant to understand satire or you have no sense of humor. Like, fuck you, bro. Excuse me. Plague Dog, I have 16 comments on this channel. So I tried to. This is a good point. Okay. I tried to keep it to folks that aren't channel members, but Pandu has so many that I couldn't ignore it. So Plague Dog, yes, you should be up here. You should be like right here. You should be there. But I tried to keep it for folks that aren't channel members. Pandu is the exception to the rule because he is committed. Okay, so back to commenter influence. So I do look at all the comments, and there you had this. I had this comment here. Somebody asking, quick video suggestion. I'd love to know the economics of making high articulation Toho figures versus something like Hammond Collection for Jurassic Park. They're definitely far in terms of price points, and I've always been curious as to why. And so, like, I looked at this comment and I thought to myself, like, you know, this is something I can answer in like 60 seconds. You know, I didn't think that there was a whole video to be made here. So I started actually, I was like, well, let's see. You know, how much do I have to say about this topic? So I started writing it out, and the end result, I have a 15-minute video talking about this topic. I didn't think it would be a 15-minute video. I was like 60 seconds tops. I have the video for this uploaded. It's sitting in my unlisted folder, and I'm waiting for it to go up. It's just that other things keep coming up that are more timely. Again, like YouTube algorithm, if you talk about things when they're actually happening, they're more likely to get watched. So I have a video like this, or I have a video on this topic that this person asked for in my unlisted, and it's just waiting there. It's waiting to be published. So if there are things that you folks would like to see, do let me know, right? If there are topics that you are curious to hear about that I feel equipped to talk about, I'll do videos on it. If enough people suggest a certain topic that I don't know too much about, then I'll go learn about it and I'll make a video on it. So, you know, I don't want folks to feel like when they comment on my videos that I just like the comments and move on with my life. I read through everything, and if there are suggestions, I will consider them. Plague Doc, you have a suggestion. Okay. What is your suggestion? You tell me. Tell me, my friend. The whole world is watching. See, I know as soon as I click his comment away. What's the four most iconic kaijus Goji, Kong, Gamera, and Ultraman each influence the most? It's a good question. What do you think about the rumored Pacific Rim crossover with the MonsterVerse? I heard that was the original plan. But then Pacific Rim Uprising was dog water, so they didn't go through with it. I don't know if the MonsterVerse needs to move over or to cross over with Pacific Rim. Like I think I'd prefer Pacific Rim do its own thing. Yo, Smasher Pass Kaiju. That's like some quality Markiplier style content. But yeah, maybe we should do it. That seems like it'd be fun. Okay, so this was one commenter suggestion that I took to heart and I made a whole video about. And so I'm waiting to release that. You should see it in the next week if there isn't other stuff coming up. Now the next comment is from our friend Pandu Allen because I wanted to highlight I wanted to highlight the fact that I am totally cool if people disagree with me. And so Pandu wrote this big long message one of my earlier videos talking about how he disagreed with me. And like, this is a very intimidating comment in terms of the size, right? Like, if my wife ever sent me a message this long, I would assume it was over, right? Like, I'm packing my bags, I'm leaving. I don't even need to read the damn thing. I just assume that we're done. But Pandu wrote this long message about how he disagreed with me. And rather than me being like, screw this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about, I took the time, I read through what he had to say. I had to clarify some of the comments I made in the video that he took issue with. And then we came to an understanding where we sort of agreed on like a fundamental idea. We just disagreed on the way to get there. But that's one of the important things. Like, I am totally cool if folks disagree with some of the topics, some of my takes on these topics. I'm just a guy, I'm a flawed person. And if you disagree with me, like I'm happy to have that conversation with you, because to me, it's more important that we get to like the bottom of the ideas than it is for me to win an argument with you. If that makes sense. Like, I'd rather we focus on resolving our ideas than one of us like beating the other one. And now, like, Pandu is a channel member. Pandu is like the most active person on my channel. But you would never know that if you looked at the size of this comment. So, I have another video on my channel. It's called 100 subscribers. It was when I hit 100 subscribers. And I said that I want you folks to hold me accountable. If you think that I've approached a topic not in the most graceful way, if I'm being a little bit of a blockhead, because I can be a little bit of a blockhead, to let me know, and I will revisit the topic. I will think about what I've had to say, and I can reflect on these things. So, yeah, if you guys look, like, when you go to comment, there's only one guideline that I've written for the community, and that's to focus on the ideas and not the person. So, if there are comments in the videos like saying that they disagree with me, like Pandu's comment here, totally fine. Happy to have those conversations. But I'm not going to deal with shithead comments. People, I literally had someone come in and call me a Nazi. Somebody literally called me a Nazi. I have no idea why, but I'm not going to tolerate shit like that. So, yeah, I hope that you guys do hold me accountable if you think that I've got things wrong. Because I do go through and I take things to heart. And I hope that this can be a space for just like rational and level-headed discussion on these things. Sergeant Durant, it's okay if we disagree. LOL, we're only human. Yeah, exactly. That's the hope. Sometimes I feel like that's lost on the internet. Sergeant, you gifted 5 memberships. Excuse me? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. What? I'm stunned. Sergeant Dornan, thank you so much. Oh my god. That is so kind. You did it. You did it for Lataro. Lataro's now a channel member. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Sergeant Dornan, thank you so much. That's incredible. You're the only YouTuber I got memberships for. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Cheeto is now a channel member too. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Plague Doc. We don't hate too much, Keemstar. True. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you. I'll make sure that I'll make sure that my appreciation for you is made clear. The next video. Clover does junk. I'm the only one who doesn't have a green name. Clover does junk. You have the power to fix this. You could join for less than $1. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Play Doc. Could you read my last two comments? I feel like they're interesting. Okay, this was the last one. See, we don't hate too much, Keemstar. And then the other one was never cook again, Lotaro. No, let's see. Plague Doc. My mom introduced me to Godzilla, and while my dad and mom watch Godzilla passively, I'm the super fan. That's really cool. My mom introduced me to Godzilla when she brought home a VHS tape from a salvage shop. She just saw it and was like, "Oh, this looks like a dinosaur. I bet my son will like it." And she was right, and she changed my life forever by doing that. My first Godzilla movie was Raids Again or 98, and 2014 was the reason I've gotten here. Wait, do you not know if it was Raids Again or 98? I did burn pasta. I'm sorry to hear that, Lotaro. Can you read my comment about my experience with an angry KU fan? Yes, 1 second. Because I think you got 2, right? Some dude got mad at me for making fun of KU getting shut down. They said that stop motion animating is immature and playing video games is better. The games they play are literal brain rot. Okay, to say that stop motion animating is immature is like objectively wrong. Like if you look at the stuff that Leica does with like Cujo and Coraline, like that is beautiful work. Beautiful work. Incredible stuff. So for them to say that is really is brain rot. Somebody got mad at me for saying smoking the KU pack. They said stop motion anime is immature. It's the same one. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's garbage. That's garbage. Mike's Monsters, King Kong with stop motion. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, stop motion is beautiful. Like Ayo, Coraline, my fave. It's terrifying as a kid. Yeah. Is it terrifying? I think it's coming back into the theaters here in North America. But yeah, it's a beautiful animation style. Okay, so commenter influence. Another big milestone on the channel is we've got affiliates now. Kaiju Canuck is an affiliate of Super 7 and Entertainment Earth. So Super 7, go to super7.com/Kaiju Canuck. Unfortunately, there's no discount for customers, but there is a 5% commission for me. So if you go to super7.com/Kaiju Canuck, anything you buy, I earn 5% in cash back. There is no incentive for you to do this. You should never feel pressured to buy something using my affiliate link. You know, there's me, there are other folks in this community that are affiliates, and so, you know, maybe you want to pick and choose who you buy from if you do buy from these companies. But I'm so thankful for the folks that choose to use my affiliate link. Given the fact that there's absolutely no benefit to you for doing so, it means the world to me. On the Godzilla -1 color ultimate figure, I shared on a YouTube update that the number of commissions that I earned on that was enough to pay for my family's groceries for a week. I think some folks might find it in poor taste for me to talk about the money that I earn on YouTube and through things like this. But I think that as these things are only made possible through your support. And so like I do want to be transparent when I can be in what your support is doing for me and doing for my family. So it's incredibly like it blows my mind how much support that I've received through this. So thank you folks for doing that. Michael Romero is now a channel member. Welcome in, Michael. It's good to have you here. Welcome. Cheeto, have you heard about director Yamazaki and Adam Wingard complimenting each other's movies? Yeah, that's how it should be. MonsterVerse and Toho can coexist. That's how it should be. Someone said KU getting shut down is the historical event in 2001 in New York for 10-year-old babies. That's a hell of a comment. Holy shit. Hello, Mrs. Canuck. Sergeant Dornan, my father bought me a pack of Showa Godzilla movies. Terror of Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla 1954, and Godzilla's Revenge. Showa Mechagodzilla remains my favorite mecha. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Showa Mechagodzilla is the coolest version. Kyu is pretty cool. Mechagodzilla 2 is all right. Showa Mechagodzilla definitely is the best one. Yeah, no worries, Pandu. I totally understand that. Cypria, Mrs. Kaiju Canuck says hello. Plague Doc. That's awesome. Hope you're well, Miss Canuck, and hope the kid is good. Lataro sends some love as well. I'm guessing baby has woken up, unfortunately. So Mrs. Canuck is popping back in to say hello. So that's the Super 7 that's the Super 7 affiliate. But we're also now affiliate of Entertainment Earth, which is a little bit more exciting for you folks. So if you use code KCANUCK at checkout, you get 10% off any in-stock items. And what this means is I get a 7% commission off anything that is a 7% commission off anything that is purchased using KCANUCK. So if you buy something for like $100, you use KCANUCK, you pay $90, and I get, what is that, like $6.03. Additionally, so that works for in-stock items. You can also use my link ee.toy/kcanuck for pre-orders. If you don't want to wait for something or don't want to risk something selling out before it becomes in stock, you can use my link here. It doesn't give you a discount, unfortunately. I still make a commission on it. So I just want to be transparent about that. If you don't want to wait for a pre-order, you can use my link here. I will still earn money on the order, but you will not get a discount. And I think so far, I'd have to double check my math, but I think I've made like $16 on commissions, something like that, through Entertainment Earth, this affiliate. So folks are starting to use this link. Again, you do not have to use this link. I totally understand if you want to use my link sometimes, and sometimes you want to use another creator's link. Totally cool. You know, I'm just thankful for any person that does use this link. It goes a long way in supporting the work that I do here, and helps me know that I'm on the right track. So I really appreciate this, folks. Sergeant Dorn, you gifted another 5 memberships. Are you crazy? Sergeant Dornan, it's too much, man. Thank you. Holy. I'll have to send Sergeant Dornan an extra special Christmas card at the end of this year. Sapria says baby is asleep for now. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it stays that way. Ready Player One Mecha G is cool based on 1974. So I have a story about the Ready Player One Mecha G. You'll have to remind me at the end, Cheeto. Sergeant Dornan spreading the love. Thank you so much, man. That's insane. That's insane. Damn, Sarge, the gifts keep on coming. Yeah. Can Entertainment Earth ship to EU? I think they can, but as far as I know, the international shipping from Entertainment Earth can be pretty brutal. It can be pretty brutal. So don't do it, Lataro, for my sake. Please don't. But if they have like some kind of exclusive that you can't get elsewhere, you know, do consider supporting the channel. But it can be prohibitively expensive. Now we are all comrades. Psykaiju says, I kind of wish more YouTubers were as transparent as you're being with this. Yeah, I mean, like, I think some folks think that it's in poor taste to talk about money. But like I said, the only reason I'm here is because of you folks. So I do want to be transparent where it makes sense to be during chickens like this, right? Like I'm not at the end of every video am I gonna be like, by the way, guys, like you helped me make like $5 this past week. I don't want to do anything like that, but to have moments where we can check in and I can, let you guys know how I'm doing. Um, I think that it's appropriate. You're helping me, and so I think it's important that I share how things are going with you folks. If they're a Goji, there's an expulsion. I don't know what that means. Lataro, love it. Get it because Godzilla. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Congrats on this milestone. I'm currently trying to get like you one day. Well, best of luck, Dangerous Dictionary. It's definitely a marathon and not a sprint. Make sure you're doing stuff that you love and stuff that you think is not competing with what is already being done on the platform. Ever since I watched your Let's Talk About Super 7 Figures, I've been hooked binge watching your other videos, hoping you will have a lot more success. 2024 will be your year. Thank you, Michael. Well, you're a member of the channel now, so we're in this shit together, my friend. We'll get there together. How does that sound? Oh well, Clover does junk. I think Clover missed the second round of memberships from Sargent. Sorry about that, Clover. My wallet always cried when I saw the shipping fee. I'm guessing from Entertainment Earth. Sometimes it costs more than the figure. I tried to pre-order McFarlane's Pacific Rim, but the shipping costs more than the entire figure on the wave. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the shipping from Entertainment Earth. Like, I'm not even going to use Entertainment Earth because the shipping is too much. Who else thinks the Terminator is based on Mechagodzilla? I don't know if they share too many similarities. Monster Kid Corey, welcome in, Monster Kid. I had a slide here where I shouted you out. Yeah, top 3 most comments on the channel. So welcome in. Lewis, so much love in here. All time to finish my shift. You and Mrs. Canuck have a great night. Stay safe. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Lewis. Enjoy the rest of your shift. Best of luck. And have a great night, my friend. Plague Dog, I love to see more skull crawlers in the Monsterverse. I think they should do a story where a skull crawler who's usually associated as evil has a softer side and connects with a human or something. I think that the Monsterverse is ripe for stories like that. And I hope that they have a means of getting there. Absolutely. If it's 21, it's the other way around, right? 21. I don't know. I don't know what that means. You made me like Super 7 the way Shinra Jira made me like Bandai Vinyls. I still don't have money to buy Super 7 stuff yet, but I kind of want the Destoroyah or something from them. Yeah, I think that they started off on some rocky territory, but they're really hitting their stride now. So I think it's a good time to get into Super 7 for sure. Destoroyah is really good. Really good. Oh, Monsterverse Mecha G is based on Terminator. I could definitely see that. Clover does junk. I'm so unlucky. I'm sorry, my friend. Skullcrawler would eat them, though, as they constantly need to eat. But maybe not. Maybe there could be a benevolent Skullcrawler. You never know. My children, the guinea pigs, are asleep. Do you think Scar King is the one who sends the Skullcrawlers to kill the Skull Island Kongs? I mean the red handprint. I don't think so. Because it seems like he took them all down to the underworld, didn't he? Is that not the issue? Or is that not the thing? My issue with the Godzilla X Playmates Kong is the arm with the beast glove feels stiff. Okay, I'm so glad that you brought this up, Plague Doc. So I've got the... Hold on, let me switch my view here. So I've got the Kong here, right? And you can get his one arm into a proper sort of punching position, but you can't do it with the gauntlet arm. The gauntlet arm, it doesn't have the flexibility to he can't rotate this. So you can't do that same sort of hook punch, or like, you know, how did I do it before? Like this. You know, like that kind of punching motion. You can't do that with the gauntlet arm. That makes me very sad. So you have to get kind of creative with your posing. Other than that, though, this Kong figure is better than the Godzilla versus Kong one. I feel like it's a better figure. Monsterverse Mechagodzilla is just a giant robot that makes crunchy metal and whipping cable sounds, like live action Transformers. Yeah. Thoughts on Monsterverse Mechagodzilla? I think Monsterverse Mechagodzilla looks really cool. I think it's like jumping the shark a little bit. Like how on earth did they make that much metal? How did they come up with that much metal and like nobody knew about it, right? So you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. I like that they made him a bit of a brawler, because Mechagodzilla traditionally has been like a very like artillery and projectile heavy monster, but they made him like very melee focused. So I really like that. Monsterverse is versatile. As much as I love the Versus movies, it'd be an appropriate time to take Monsterverse Godzilla back to basics a bit. Just have a nice change of pace. Yeah, I would like to see a return to form, at least for like a movie or so. Cheeto, I made a TikTok, not trying to self-promo, where I made a theory about why there's two different great apes in two different places, Hollowworth and Skull Island. Interesting. Do you believe the Monsterverse will have Destoroyah as a final boss for the franchise? They already paved the road for him to be introduced. I think that Destoroyah would make sense. Yeah, there's definitely a precedent for him, because they've blown King Ghidorah, they've blown Mechagodzilla. Destoroyah probably makes a lot of sense. Hopefully we see Godzilla X Kong movie monster series soon. Yeah. Plague Doc. Interesting theory. So there are like two factions, and Scar King sent the Skull Crawlers up. Interesting. Monsterverse is absurd. You're worried about metal when Kong and Godzilla roared at each other down. Yeah, that's true. You're right, Corey. You're right. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention to the wrong things. Cheeto, I think Final Wars remake would make sense as a finale for the Monsterverse. Yeah, I could see it. Is Super 7 interested in making Monsterverse figures? I don't believe so. They definitely don't have the license to do it. I don't even think the license is up for grabs in terms of what they would make. And I think that they are far too preoccupied with classic Godzilla to want to shift resources over to make Monsterverse stuff. Like the Super 7 team is it's a smaller team than you think. It's like less than 200 people in the whole company. And I think the number of people actually like designing the figures is like you could count on one hand. So I don't think they have the resources to pour into things that they aren't interested in, and I don't think they're too interested in Monsterverse. Biollante, Destroya, or Space Godzilla should be the final villains. Yeah. Monsterverse is more saturated than Heisei right now. True. That's probably true. Minya will be the final boss of the Monsterverse. That's funny. All right, folks. Just to wrap up here, I've got one more slide that I wanted to share you folks. So we've done a lot of recounting what the state of the channel's in right now. And so I wanted to give you like a bit of a game plan for 2024. So first point, quality over quantity. When I started out in mid-September making content for the channel, I wanted to do one video per week. And somehow I got into a routine of making 2 videos per week. It was never my intention to do that, but I just sort of fell into this rhythm of doing 2 videos per week. And I maintained that for 3 whole months, October, November, and December. And toward the end of December, well, not even toward the end of December, but toward mid-December, my wife was going into labor, and to keep up with 2 videos per week, I not rushed, but I really grinded in early December to try and get stuff recorded ahead of time so that I was still getting 2 videos per week scheduled uh when my daughter was going to be here, just so I didn't have to worry about the channel and I could focus on supporting my daughter and my wife at the time. So my plan was never to have 2 videos per week. But it's just sort of where I fell into. And in 2024, I would really like the focus to be on quality over quantity. There were some times in November and even December a little bit where I felt like I was putting out content just to keep up with this arbitrary goal of 2 videos per week, because that's what the algorithm had come to expect from me, and that's, you know, what I felt like I was obligated to provide. So I had a discussion with my channel members a few weeks ago where I said, hey, like, instead of 8 to 9 videos per month, I'm going to scale back to 5 to 6 videos per month, just so I can focus on making the videos that I do put out better and have more to them. And whether that's having them better researched or making them more entertaining, having better editing, things like that. I just don't want to fall into the spot where, like, I feel like I'm putting out content because I have to rather than because I want to. And it's been really nice this month to be able to have and to give myself a full week to focus on a single topic or a single video, and to have a video that comes out that's 14, 15, 16 minutes long rather than like 7, 8, or 9 minutes twice a week. So that is my hope, is quality over quantity. Second point here is more Canuck unscripted videos. So I talked about it before, how these 2 videos here are among my top viewed videos. And these videos had far less pre-production, let's say, like far less script writing than my other content. Yet they are performing pretty well. They're doing pretty, and it also might be a consequence of the times, right? Like this one video here was 6 days ago when I have more subscribers. So that could lend towards more people turning out for it. But as I have a daughter, as I have a wife that needs my help, the Canuck unscripted style of being able to just take down a few notes and to record my raw thoughts and to cut them together lends really well toward something that is easier for me to produce. That being said, I need to balance that with the first point, right? Like, I don't want to just put a Canuck unscripted video out on topics that just don't matter, right? On things that are not that important. So I would expect more videos from me that are a little bit more organic. Doesn't feel like I'm reading for a script or reading memorized lines, where it actually just feels like it's more directly from me, and what my initial thoughts are, or what my thoughts in the moment are, or maybe even just like talking things out loud and trying to work through them. So I would expect more videos from those. Number 3, I want to do more for channel members. Right now, the main draw I would say to being a channel member is the early access to videos that I'm making and the emojis. I can't really see them in StreamYard, but I think a lot of folks are enjoying the emojis. I enjoy the emojis. I'm glad they exist. Um, Again, that's another example of something where like I had those emojis made because I loved them. Um, if you love them too, I'm glad that we can share that together. But if you don't love those emojis, that at the very least, I'm glad that I have them. But I want to do more for channel members, doing streams for just us where I get to chat and check in with how you folks are doing. More posts, more things where I get to talk to you guys. Because I feel like not to make excuses, but I feel like I've been so preoccupied lately that it's been hard for me to pay more attention to channel members. And I don't want to take any of you folks for granted, especially when you have folks like like Sergeant Dornan, who just gifted 10 memberships. Like, that's wild. That's insane. So I want to do more stuff for channel members, and I would love to hear from you folks. I'll make more community posts to see how folks are doing, but also if you guys have ideas for the channel, things like that. So yeah, I want to do more stuff for channel members. Number 4, interviews. So late last year, I did the interview with Kyle Wadiga from Super 7. That interview, that and the video I did with my wife are the proudest things I've done with my channel. A big reason I started the channel was to cover Super 7 news and updates and things like that for their Godzilla stuff. And so like I had been gathering like a list of questions that I would love to ask Super 7 one day. And then the video with Kyle, I actually got to do that. I got to ask him all the questions that I had. So that video is like one of the crowning achievements, I think, for my channel. And I would love to do more stuff like that. So I'm currently chasing a lead on being able to interview the owner of Super 7, the guy who makes the decisions as to what products get made. Hopefully I can do that. If I can just get his email and email him myself, that would be great. But I would love to do that interview for the channel. So Brian Flynn from Super 7. The folks over at Titanic Creations are another group of folks that I would love to bring on, because they're doing like the Gorgo, the Yungari. They're gonna do, I think is it Pulgasari or Pulsagari? I can never remember. But they're doing the Korean kaiju action figures this year. I would love to bring those folks on to talk about those figures that they're working on. But this is another aspect where I feel like I can create value for members of the channel. Where perhaps the way that I do it is, instead of the actual interview taking place behind closed doors, where it's just like me and Brian or me and Kyle, I can make that initial interview a members only live stream where you guys get to sit in on it at the same time that it's happening. And so you get to actually participate. And then the recording I can take afterwards and edit it or whatever. And then after the fact, everyone else publicly gets to watch it. So channel members get to participate as it's happening. Everyone else gets to see the thing after the fact. So I would love to do more interviews for the channel, whether that's Super 7 or otherwise. And I think it's an opportunity for channel members to get involved, and for me to create that value. So that's something else that I'm hoping to accomplish in 2024. And then finally, there's always I'm curious to hear from you folks. what kind of content you would like to see. Like I've heard some folks talk about, they'd be interested in a podcast. I don't know. I feel like there are so many podcasts out there. I don't know if I would really be any different from what's out there. But like, we have the Kaiju Hugbox Discord. Maybe there could be like a Kaiju Hugbox podcast. Maybe once every week, or sorry, not every week, because I don't have the time for every week. But maybe bi-weekly or once a month. Maybe that could be cool. So I talked about before, like somebody was asking like, hey, why does Toho stuff cost more than Jurassic Park stuff? And I thought it'd be a 60-second answer. I turned it into a 15-minute video that's waiting to be uploaded. So yeah, I'm always listening. I'm always reading the comments. If you folks have suggestions, please know that I'm here. I'm listening. If you throw ideas out there and they don't get made, it doesn't mean that they're not going to get around to it eventually. Just means I'm waiting for a topic. I'm always interested in making videos on topics that I feel like I can do well and represent well. So and with that, thank you all. We're not ending the stream, but I just wanted to end on this message here. Thank you all. This channel is more than just me. It's all the folks that show up to watch, to like, to comment, to share, to buy memberships, to be members of this channel. It's insane. Thank you all so much. It really means the world to me. You have no idea. If there was a way that I could more directly thank each of you, I would. But that's where we're at. So I'm gonna end the slideshow, but we're gonna stick around for at least a little while longer. So let me catch up on the chat. Ooh. Okay, so quality over quantity is a perfect goal. Not too much YouTubers have that type of mindset. I definitely agree with that, but and I'm not saying that to throw shade at anybody. I think that they're playing the game that YouTube encourages, right? And so I fall in that as well. Like, I feel like I have to put out content or the algorithm's going to leave me behind. But now that I'm at a point, I'm above 2,000 subscribers. I have a decent amount of views on my stuff. I feel as though I'm at a point now where it's like, okay, I don't need to keep up with the algorithm. I can just focus on doing what I want to do. Like, algorithm be damned. I feel like I have a solid viewer base that is more interested in me being sort of genuine with the kind of content that I'm making than me just putting out schlock for the sake of putting out schlock. Jackson, welcome in. Hope we're all well. I hope you're doing well too, my friend. Saikaiju, nothing wrong with concentrating, putting on a video you're happy with and putting one out just because. Absolutely. That's what I'm hoping to do. And like, one of the things that I'm being more conscious of now when I'm editing videos is like, sometimes when I've in the recent past, like when I've been making videos, like I've come up with editing ideas being like, oh, like this would be something cool to put in. But then I'd be like, oh, but if I do that, it's going to take me longer to make the video. But then ultimately, I'm trying to get to a point where it's like, if something I fundamentally believe will make the video better, then I'm going to make the time to put that in. And by cutting down the number of videos I'm putting out per month, I can make those changes and feel not burnt out. Goji Wars, congrats. Recent fan, but your content's amazing. Hope you have amazing success as time goes on. Thank you, Goji Wars. I hope you're here for the ride. I hope you're here for the ride. Pandu, you would love more emojis. Well, with the number of channel members now, I have to take a look. I think I can get more. I think I can get more emojis made now. Each emoji cost me about $30, 30 Canadian dollars to make, because I hire an artist. But if folks keep showing up, then I'll keep spending that money. I don't care. Do the roar. What roar? Duncan, welcome in. Good to see you. Plague Doctor, gonna go grind Apex Legends. Cool. So Duncan asked, are any of the creatives at Haya accessible? I don't know any of the creatives at Haya. I don't think I've seen anybody do I've never seen anybody do content talking with them, but that might be a good idea. If anyone has a contact email, let me know. Latoro, so it is Polgasari. Okay. Pandu, I would want to ask about Titano, Orga, or Zilla to Super 7. Brian was asked about Zilla. He was asked, is Zilla on the table? And he said, his response was, is that the Matthew Broderick Godzilla? Are you sure you want that? So I don't know what that means. TT Kong, my friend got gifted a member pass for this channel. W. That is an absolute W. You want to see me in a wet t-shirt, Corey? That's going to be a tier 4 channel membership. You get a tasteful wet t-shirt photo. Jabbathan. Yes, I would like a podcast I listen to while I'm working. Okay, interesting. Legendary should make a Gamera or Ultraman Hollywood movie remake. Like, as part of the Monsterverse? I am Mexican. Interesting. Dang, no way. Gotta support fellow Canucks. Duncan? Are you serious? I'm only seeing this now. Duncan, thank you so much. Holy shit, dude. Wow. Duncan, thank you. A million times over, thank you. Holy crap. Thank you so much. Jackson, you do great work, and that's worthy of praise. Happy to be part of it. Happy to have you here, my friend. I'd love to see a Superman versus Godzilla movie. Are you reading the Godzilla versus Kong versus the Justice League comics? Godzilla murks Superman. Holy shit. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you. TT Kong. Did Clover miss it again? Oh no. I might have to gift Clover myself. Goji Wars, welcome. Hanuman points. Scorpion 16, I'm late, aren't I? Yeah, we're 2 hours in, but there will be a VOD if you want to check it out ahead of time. Kong W. Yes. Michael, thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you. And, great work with the submarines. Those look awesome. Since 2000 is a landmark, what did you think of Godzilla 2000 when you saw it? I liked the movie and the suit. So I was 6 years old when Godzilla 2000 came out. And my dad took me to the theater to watch it. And I thought it was amazing. I loved Godzilla 2000 when I watched it. I don't watch it too often. Like, it's not a movie I rewatch often. But, like, I love purple. If you could not tell from everything that's going on, where is it? Like, the colors and the color there. Like, I love purple. So the purple spines, really speaks to me. And his beam was red, which was a interesting shakeup. So I love Godzilla 2000. I love the suit. I love the Meyer Goji suit. Orga, I think, needs more love. I think he was really cool, but I think he was done dirty in his final fight and how he got killed. So, no, I love Godzilla 2000. It has a special place in my heart. Create Hanuman emojis. Maybe. We'll see. I would love a Zilla Love the TV show when I was little. I never got to see. I never really watched Godzilla the series too much. I hope that they upload it someday, like they did the Hanna-Barbera stuff. I think people in the East rather not put their names on public. It's part of their pride, privacy, or something. So that's true. Michael talked a little bit about this in our last chat on the Figure Mania show, but in Japan, there's a little bit of not a stigma, but people value their privacy. And so Michael was interviewing the folks over at Blue, or not Bluefin, over at Tamashii Nations. He asked like, "Hey, who sculpted I want to say the Hedorah figure?" And they said like, "Oh, we don't want to publish that information." So that there's definitely a difference when you go across the ocean. At 3,000, you have to wear a Godzilla costume for a week. Lotaro, I will record my videos at 3,000 subscribers wearing a Godzilla costume. How about that? Those gifts were snatched up fast. Yeah, apparently. Sergeant Jordan, I'll be satisfied with the Monsterverse if the final shot is Godzilla Jr. hatching from an egg with Skreonk. Roll credits. So if it ends with Junior coming out, no, you can't end it with Junior coming out. Are you ready, Clover? Here it comes. Gifted one, and it didn't go to Clover? Oh, no. Monster Kid Corey is now a channel member. Amazing. Duncan, you mad lad. You absolute mad lad. Goji Wars gonna have to head out, work on a project mine. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Good luck with your project, Goji Wars. Thank you so much for stopping by. I think Clover left the chat after the membership avoided him like my crush avoided me. Oh, poor Clover. Poor Clover. I want Zilla Jr. in the Monsterverse. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Upload the Godzilla series on YouTube. Like the 98 series? Animated Zilla? Animated Zilla is a lot more faithful to the original series than 98 Zilla. I believe that. Thank you. The Submarine Spur hit. Now to move on to the next project. SY3? Do it. Do it. Yay. Michael, are you ready? Gotta go fast. Someone ping Clover on Discord. Let me check. Let me check if Clover is on Kaiju Hugbox. Clover. Clover does junk. He is on Discord. Hold on. Clover does junk. Okay, so it was the Yu-Gi-Oh line. Okay. I'm messaging Clover. I'm messaging Clover. Okay, so I have messaged Clover on Discord. We will see. We will see. So the 98 Zilla animated series is on YouTube. That's what we're saying. Let me check, because this is news to me. There's a playlist. It is there. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. All right. I will have to watch that now. Damn. So as regarding the Yu-Gi-Oh line, basically the sculptor is okay with their names being published. Tamashii will do so if they see it being marketable, like Wakasa, Sakai. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or any of the others involved with movies themselves, like SPR -1. Okay, yes. I would literally kidnap the president of Japan to get a Singular Point season 2. I would be down for Singular Point season 2 if they just focused on making like a good kaiju series rather than just like there's just so much scientific jargon. And I say that as someone who studied nuclear engineering. There's too much scientific jargon in Singular Point. It's too much. It really detracts from it. The green atomic breath is cool. I commission my friend to make. You commission your friend to make an articulate figure. And did he make it for you, Pandu? Did someone mention Sonk the Fast? I don't know what that means. The reason I was late because I was on Penguin Zero's chat and I forgot about this one. No problem, my friend. It's all good. It's all good. You're here, and that's all that matters. Couldn't do it. 98 was too dramatic. That's funny. Singular Point feels more like a physics class than a kaiju movie. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. I think after this much time, they would indeed listen to the feedback and try to improve for season 2. I hope so. Like, they had that big tease with the Mechagodzilla, and I actually really thought that they would release a Mechagodzilla figure by now, but they didn't, which is unfortunate. It's done and packed. Cool. I don't know if there's like a convenient way of you sharing it, a picture with me at some point, but that would be really cool to see. Singular Point season 2 should be called renamed to Multiple Point. I'll walk myself out now. No, I can appreciate the humor. Double point. I like Singular Point. Reiwa era is the art house Godzilla. There's so much going on in Reiwa era, man. So much. Dunkin' Donuts. I've never even watched Singular Point. You're not missing out. You're not missing out. It's every episode of Singular Point I got to the end of, and I was like, wow, that wasn't good. But hopefully the next episode will be better. And then it never got better. Cheeto, it's a shame that Gamma Rebirth is better than Singular Point anime. Yo, Gamma Rebirth is awesome. Okay. I don't think it's a shame that it's better than Singular Point. It's a shame that Singular Point is so much worse than Gamma Rebirth. That's the shame. Yeah, I would love to see this articulated Zilla at some point. My movie Monster Series Ultima has a leg shorter than the other. Oh, that's disappointing. The only thing I liked from SP is the Ultima Godzilla design. I did like some of the designs in that show. Godzilla himself looks like pretty cool. The fact that his previous forms like just happen to look like other kaiju is kind of strange. So, you know, definitely weird. Let's see. The Godzilla design looked cool, but the trailer didn't interest me at all, and it wouldn't take away my title of seeing every Godzilla movie by not seeing it. Yeah, it's true. I think that we're in an era where studios take their viewers for granted. I think you're seeing this a lot with Disney. I think you're seeing it. I think you saw it with DC up until, I guess, Aquaman 2. But I think studios got to this place where, like, no matter what we put out, people will watch it. And I think that they are realizing that that is no longer the point. or that is no longer the truth. That you will need to earn your audience. And that's a good lesson, even for folks here on YouTube, right? Like, I don't want to take any of your viewership for granted. I don't want to put out schlock just for the sake of putting out schlock and being like, oh, yeah, people will watch this no matter what, right? Like, I need to operate under the basis that I need to put out quality stuff. And I think that Hollywood could stand to understand that as well. If I can't get season 2, I will at least make the kidnapping worth it by demanding a mildly very, very big condor be the final boss in the MonsterVerse, having him fly Skeleturtle around to kill everything. You're very imaginative, Lucaro. I'll give you that. I binge watched Rebirth. It's so good, though I'm not really into the human character art style. Yeah, the art style, the 3D animation is not for everyone. I don't really care for it too much myself, but Rebirth is still very good. The Inshot of Singular Point got me hyped because I'm such a sucker for Mechagodzilla. SP does have its convoluted flaws. Absolutely. There is way too much jargon. Singular Point previous forms look like actual different kaiju. Maybe Singular Point Varan and Singular Point Titano, but was changed last minute as Godzilla. Those dorsal maple fins look too out of place, like a tag on. So the idea is that they started off initially as different kaiju? I can see that. Aquaman 2 is actually good despite being a flop. I didn't really follow any of the DC stuff too well. So I don't really have too much to comment on that. Thoughts on Godzilla fans going crazy for Shimo? Like everyone loves her. Well, Shimo like has a pretty cool design. But we also haven't seen much of her in the movie, and so excuse me. I think it's possible that people really like Shimo because they haven't seen her in the movie yet, and so they can build up in their heads how she acts, how she behaves, what her attacks are like, what her roar sounds like, because we don't know that much about her yet. So that might be part of the reason that folks love her so much. But also, I think that the designer Jared did a really great job designing her. I think she looks really cool. Another thing I liked about -1 is that the Godzilla translated better than Shin Godzilla. What do you mean Godzilla translated better? I'm very curious to hear, because Shin Godzilla I really liked. I haven't followed much of any of the DCEU. Liked Man of Steel, love the Batman, excited for the series reboot. Yeah, same deal for me. I didn't really follow too much of the DCEU. The Batman exists outside of it, sort of like the Joker movie. I love the Joker movie. I thought that movie was fantastic. I want Toho to officially make Shin as its individual monster. I want Shin-Ji versus Godzilla. Like Shin Godzilla versus Heisei Godzilla? Is that the idea? Shimo is like a mongoose, turtle, ankylosaur ice thing, but to me, she looks like something out of How to Train Your Dragon. You know what? That's fair. She does look like that. You're right. I dig it. Scorpion 16. Oh, okay, so -1 translates into a toy better than Shin Godzilla. Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. I think part of the reason people like Shimu is because it's original / new Titan, holding my opinion on Shimu till the movie. Yeah, like I feel as though like people really like having new original monsters, even if they aren't the most exciting thing. Like people seem to really like Scylla from King of the Monsters, and I did not care for Scylla that much. Like I think Behemoth looks really cool. I love Methuselah. I think Methuselah is really awesome. There was like the Queen Muto type thing, which like okay, fine, like it's another Muto. But like people really like seem to like Scylla, and I didn't really care for Scylla that much. Do you buy Godzilla clothing? Well, I've got the hat. For example, Cavity Color is making shirts and jackets that are going to be on pre-ordering of the new movie. So I have their Godzilla versus Biollante hoodie because that's like my favorite Godzilla movie, and it's a great hoodie. I do plan to buy the Godzilla X Kong hoodie, and maybe the sweatpants, depending on how I'm feeling on the day of. Shimo do look like Red Death from the first movie. I do not know what that means. Probably old dumb question, but is Shimo confirmed to be a female? Heard a lot of conflicting accounts on it. I think officially now Shimo is confirmed to be a female. Earlier it was I think there were some leaks that pointed in one direction, and then there was some official information that pointed in a different direction. But it appears for now that Shimo is a female kaiju. Some folks are really excited about that. Excited to have some female kaiju representation. I didn't really care either way. I just want Shimo to be a cool Titan. I love Methuselah and Behemoth, but not Scylla. Would still love to have a figure of her though. Yeah, like I would buy Methuselah day one. I would buy Methuselah day one. Behemoth, as much as I think I wouldn't buy Behemoth day one, I probably would buy Behemoth day one. Scylla is okay. I don't know. I might buy her. I would love more G-shirts, but most are just a black shirt with an image in the middle. It's not something I feel I can make work with my other clothes. Yeah, that's definitely true. The Godzilla store has some pretty cool like patterned shirts, which I would be interested in picking up, but they are kind of expensive, and I'm gonna get murdered on the conversion rate. Biollante is your favorite movie. I love the deleted scene of Godzilla seemingly lamenting killing Biollante. It gives the movie a somber feeling. Yeah, Biollante is my favorite. I have the Biollante monster arts. It's one of the few monster arts I own because Biollante is my favorite. I haven't seen that scene, but I would love to watch it. Did Haya actually want to make a Showa Godzilla figure and Toho said no, or was it just a rumor? So a lot of these things, like these conversations about licensing, unless you hear it directly from the source, they will be rumors. Allegedly, Michael from the Articulation series had heard from someone who claimed to be in the room that so Michael from Articulation series claimed to hear from someone who sat in the room between the conversation Haya and Toho. Okay, so that's like 4 degrees of separation. That's like 4 degrees of separation. And apparently during that conversation, Haya said no, or Haya asked for Showa, and Toho said no. So we don't know if it's true or not, but I would say that Michael is a very credible guy, and I trust that his sources would also be credible if he was sharing that kind of information. I want an RC Shimo like the RC Godzilla. Yeah, that would be really cool. Red Dress. Oh, okay. Yes, then I agree with that. Plot twist, imagine a Shimo solo movie. Let's see how Shimo is in this movie first. Lotaro, so far I've only gotten the 50th anniversary shirts from Gigan and Hedera, blue and yellow respectively. Okay. Sorry, I'm Clover. Clover is messaging me. He said that the gifts are the gifted subs are always random, unfortunately. So it might gift him even if he's not here. The Super 7 sweaters are good. They're also expensive, so I would hope that they're good. I need a Godzilla Aloha shirt. Yes. Jokes aside, I'm still waiting for a Rodan or or Mothra MonsterVerse solo movie. I don't think that those characters are strong enough to carry a movie on their own, unfortunately, but I would love to see them make an appearance again. It seems like Mothra's going to appear again in the next movie, but I would be interested to see more of them. The deleted scene is on YouTube. Can we get a reaction from you? Yeah, maybe like a members only type thing. I think most people won't care about it, but I'll do it for you, Sergeant Dornan. After everything you've done tonight and donating channel memberships, I will do it just for you. Was it just me, or was the ending of Biollante kind of strange? The doctor died and they seemingly didn't really care. Otherwise, fantastic movie all around. The ending to Biollante is definitely the weakest part of the movie, save for like the fight between Beast Form, Biollante, and Godzilla. It sort of just ends with it just goes like, right? But you're right. Yeah, it is definitely kind of strange. If you would buy Behemoth day one, did you get the mini Playmate figure? I do have the mini Playmate figure. Yeah, it took forever for it to show up in Canada, but I did buy it. Michael, the thing is, licensing is something that is always ever changing. All you can do is wait and see. Absolutely, right? Like, I think we've even seen Toho lighten up on their licensing across like the past 5 years. Like Kyle from Super 7 said that the Wave 3 Meltdown Godzilla that they did, he doesn't feel confident that that is something that Toho would have approved even as recent as 5 years ago. So it's always a changing landscape for sure. Biollante could easily get a remake and have it being good if they scrap some of the stupid stuff like physics and redo the daughter/Rose DNA idea into something else with the same result. Yeah, I agree. Like the story and the lore behind Biollante would need to be brought into the 21st century, but I think that they could do it for sure. We need an RC calling that flings no. Clover is back. Welcome back, Clover. Hopefully. Duncan, did it work? Oh my gosh. Again. I'm so sorry. Are we doing this again? Okay, guys, please, if you're here, please give Clover a chance to redeem the membership. Please. Clover has earned it. Okay? Please clear a path for Clover. Please. Duncan is being very generous. Please. Please. Sergeant Dornan, are you insane? What are you doing? Guys. There's no way, right? There's no way. There's no way. He missed it again? No. Guys. No. Oh no. Guys. No. No. I'm so sorry, Clover. I'm so sorry. You'll be fine with a kaiju hug box unbanned. Okay, let me figure this out. Over. I will message one of the mods. We'll see if we can get you back in. Twitch gifting system is way better. Yeah, I guess so. This is absurd. This is absurd. There was the question. Where is it? Michael Romero, how many members do you have now? Guys, I have 33 now. I have 33, and the vast majority of these are gifts from Sergeant Dornan and Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you both so much. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Over, I think your ban has been unlifted. It's been revoked. Congratulations on the 2000 Keemstar. Keep up the good work. Thank you, G King 45. Okay. I need to go back up a little bit. I need to go back up. Overall, I think the international assassin idea of people doing spy stuff to get Godzilla DNA chunks could be really fucking fun, like in Chainsaw Man, but on top of everything, you have kaiju. I think that the MonsterVerse is ripe for potential like that. Absolutely. I need playmates or someone to make toys of the apes and the Scar tribe. I need to army build. I can't imagine that they don't do that. I feel like they have to do that. How do you think Mothra Leo would make an appearance in the MonsterVerse? I'm sure they'd find a way. Thoughts on Playmates making Godzilla figures? I legitimately think that Playmates is like the best thing to happen to Godzilla in North America. In terms of collecting in a long time. The fact that like young kids can go to like your Walmart, your Target, your Toys R Us and find an affordable Godzilla toy in 2024 is insane. Kyle, do you think the Monster Arts Biollante is worth it? It's sold here for $480, or should I wait for Haya, considering they're doing Heisei? If you really love Biollante, I could see making the case for it. As you could see in the video with my wife, it really likes to fall apart. So I don't think it's worth 480. I paid 300 US for it. No, I paid 400 US for it. And even then, that's a lot. It's a lot. So I would probably wait for Haya or even Super 7 at this point. Playmates makes a Kong versus Scar King playset with multiple other Kongs with Scar King's mark on them. Hi, I'm back for a bit. Yes, welcome back, Lewis. Yeah, no, I think that there's going to be like a second wave of Playmate stuff for this movie. I'm just trying to catch up on things. The stream is now. How many gifted members till Clover gets his? Yeah, that's insane. Hey, just joined the Discord. Welcome in, Kaiju Fan 1954. Good to see you. Monarch Legacy season, any news? I don't think there's any. I don't think there's been any news on a season 2. But I think KDM on Twitter said that in a press release that Apple recognized the show as like a huge success. So I think a season 2 is pretty likely, and it sets up on a cliffhanger. So I think a season 2 could be really, really good. Latara, I meant about Godzilla vs. Biollante if it got remade, because the spy angle got pushed aside in the movie was kind of wasted. Oh, okay, I see. Like if Godzilla -2 had Biollante. Do you have the repaint Biollante? Yeah, I have the special color version. Thanks for getting my band lifted. You're welcome. Sergeant Dornan, just saw Monarch series. Your thoughts? I liked it, especially Kurt Russell's character. The good writing is there. I hope it does transfer over to the movies, though. So I really liked the beginning of Monarch season 1. I think that they needed more monsters in the show throughout. I don't think the characters are overly likable for anyone that is other than Kurt Russell. I think a season 2 could be really strong. I really liked season 1. I really liked episode 1 of season 1. I thought it showed a lot of promise. But ultimately, I don't think they accomplished very much with the show. My bank decided they don't like Google, so that's it. Well, thank you, Duncan. You've been very generous. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I need more RC Godzillas in my life. That RC Godzilla, I'm still waiting for it to show up somewhere in Canada. I think there's only one retailer that has it in Canada. It's Toy Snowman. And even then, actually, let me check. Toy Snowman might have sold out. No, so they still have it. Yeah, there's only one place that has it right now. Lataro's in the Discord. Amazing. Let me just see. Introductions. Yes, Clover Junk's there. Kaiju Fan 1954 is there. Lataro, are you Vampra? Is that you? I would love to see a remaster of Godzilla vs. Biollante more than any of the classics. Rescan the film like Star Wars. Give us that deleted scene in the director. Yeah, I would love to see that. And give it to me on a Steelbook Blu-ray, 4K. Monarch Legacy Season 2 should be more focused on the monsters and organization, especially Shaw. Yes. There should be more monsters. I'm not really indicating her brother kept going back and forth with what they want to do in the series. Also, would want reveals for those Titans and King of the Monsters monitors on Season 2. Yes. The RC Godzilla is very good. I don't know where I would put it. I don't have the most amount of room, and I don't know if I could do it. There's an RC Godzilla at Phoenix Comics in Calgary if you want to come over. Yeah, I'll catch a flight. Okay, so Lataro, you are Vampra. Cool. Michael, I remember when Playmates got the Godzilla license. Everyone hated it. I'm glad that everyone warmed up to Playmates. Well, their classic Godzilla stuff really started on Rocky Foot, right? Like their Shin Godzilla is terrible. their first Shin Godzilla is terrible. And they copied the Space Godzilla vinyl, which wasn't particularly good. Their Destroyer was okay. So they had a rocky start, but I think that they really they really found their footing. Kaiju Kitty, congrats on 2K. Kaiju Kitty, I had a shout out to you earlier in the stream. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Kaiju Kitty. Let me present something. Kaiju Kitty, you are the second highest commenter on my channel, as far as I can tell, at 49 comments. So, congrats to me on 2K. Thank you for all of your continued support. It means a lot to me. RC, so that's the radio-controlled Godzilla. Dunkin' Donuts. Honestly, I'm tempted to get the RC just to keep it in the box. Yo, unironically, I feel like the RC Godzilla is the type of toy that in like 20 years time, people will be paying like hundreds of dollars. Unironically. And now everyone scalps the Playmate stuff. Yeah, I don't know why people are scalping the Playmate stuff to the extent that they are. It's really bizarre to me. Like, these are like $10, 10 US dollar kids toys. Like, crazy. I don't know why. I don't usually keep stuff in the box, but I want that RC. Yeah, it's because it looks like a fun toy. It's a fun toy. I bought the PlayStation because it was so terrible. Yeah, it's going to be like, it's going to be a historic thing. Based on how terrible it was. Playmates has been improving. I think they're one of the best at making affordable Godzilla toys. Absolutely. They've been in the business since the 80s. Like, they made all those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys way back when, and they're using the same steel molds to reissue those classic figures. They've been around the block. Kaiju Kitty. Sold a good chunk of my Monster Arts collection. I don't regret it. Goodbye 2019 and 2021 Godzilla. Bye 2019 Rodan and Mothra. Also what? A shout out for me? Oh, yes, of course. Of course a shout out for you. That Shin Godzilla is so bad and derpy. They're sculpting tutorials to sculpt it to the film's depiction. Yeah, they just took the NECA sculpt in a really strange position, and that's what they sold. Clover thinks that the RC Godzilla will be sold for thousands in 20 years' time. I believe that. Not really into RC Godzilla, as I'm more of a diorama guy, but it's nice to see variation for merch. And I can see how it'll draw many people in to buy Goji merch. Yeah. Yeah, there's a market for fun things. It's one of the things I think, like, a lot of kaiju collecting, or a lot of kaiju collectibles have like missed, is that these things should be fun. I feel like Super 7 understands that, and that's part of the big draw I have for them. Is it bad I want a 72 Goji to go with my guy again? No, not at all. Not at all. You do you, boo. You'd love to see a Haya Shin? I too would love to see a Haya Shin. I have the NECA one. It's like okay. Cost me $25. But I think that there's room for a really good Shin figure. Playmate Shin gonna be the next Shogun Godzilla? No, doubt it. I want a statue for Ready Player One Mecha G. I thought there was. Is there not? There is a special pleasure in terrible Godzilla toys? Absolutely. Oh man, people scalp the Godzilla vs. Kong stuff in 2021 too. It's a sad thing that happens. I bought Suko and Doug. They're great for the price. I just got the Warbat. The Godzilla vs. Kong Warbat. And I got a really good price for it too. But I couldn't find it when it was first released. Part of it is that I think that they made that figure in lower quantities, but also the distribution in Canada was terrible. So I ended up getting mine shipped from the UK. Super 750 years Ultimates Playmate Shin Godzilla. I wish I would have gotten the Bandai Creations 1954, but I can always go to G-Fest. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. The NECA Shin got overhated. Take the head off and the thing looks amazing. For $25, the NECA Shin Godzilla is serviceable. I'd love to see Super 7 make a Beast Form Biolante. I'd empty my wallet for that. Yeah, I would love to see that too. The Hasbro Cloverfield came out 14 years ago and it's being sold at prices over $1,000. It's possible that Jada RC Goji will be just like Clover. It's definitely possible. I have a NECA Shin. It's okay. It was a gift, so it makes me appreciate more than I would if I bought it myself. Yeah, yeah. It's an okay figure. It's fine, right? Like if my options were, how much did hold on, how much did the Monster Arts Shin Godzilla cost when it came out? If my options are a $25 NECA Shin Godzilla versus excuse me, it's about 130 US for the Monster Arts one. The NECA one is fine. Monster Kikori, all toy companies hate Canada. They really do, man. It's such a pain in the ass to get anything up here. Either the distribution is terrible or the prices are inflated or you got to import. It's so annoying. Sergeant Jordan, do you ever see a movie featuring every era of Godzilla teaming up in some multiversal event? I can only dream. Maybe in the comics. I don't think they'll do that in the movies. It's a little bit too out there. Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't kept any of my classic era NECAs except 54 and that 56 poster version. I really liked their Monsterverse stuff. Yeah, their classic stuff was very hit or miss. Absolutely. All toy companies hate Latin America more than Canada, I'm sure. That's definitely true. The only reason I'd get the Hasbro Cloverfield is just simply because of Monster Island Buddies. I haven't watched too much from Monster Island Buddies. Articulation series. First Monster Art Shin was about 130 US dollars. Yeah, so yeah, like the $25 NECA figure for what it was a fine alternative for the price, right? Like you're getting what you pay for. If you have the extra money to get the Monster Arts, get the Monster Arts. But for me, like I didn't have the extra money at the time, so the $25 NECA one was fine. I truly hoping Haya would make Shin and for them to make his every version. You know, I'll get them all. I hope it's a bit shorter than Monsterverse considering it was 1 meter or less shorter than Monsterverse. Yeah, like I would definitely get the forms. Sorry, folks. Getting a little bit tired. Staying up late, having a baby is a deadly combination. Part of the reason I'm closing my store is that I can't even get stock. They hate Canada. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're closing the store, Corey. I know that the landscape in Canada is really hard for store owners. I have a couple of comic shops near me, and I don't know how much longer they've got to stay in the game. Dunkin' Donut, like their classic line of great stylized stuff just wasn't my thing. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. Their 1962 was pretty good too. I was fine with Monster Arts releasing a regular Godzilla and Kong, but I think everyone was expecting Scar King. Yeah, I think people were expecting like the versions of those characters that they were seeing in the promo materials, and so. But it's important to remember that like the movie promotion is on a different, like it's a different team that handles that than the merchandising, right? So the folks that decided, yeah, we're gonna have Evolved Godzilla and a Beast Gauntlet Kong and be the focus of the advertising is not the team that's telling the merchandising, hey, make sure that these are getting made. I definitely agree. Zilla, now that I think we're far enough in time that I think folks can appreciate the design of Zilla, even if it's not like, you know, the spirit of the original Godzilla, but it's a cool design. Yeah, Clover, I don't know too much about Monster Island buddies. Multiversal Super King Ghidorah threat. It could happen. It could happen. I want someone to do a new King Kong 2005. Hopefully the non-Mu giant gorilla is pretty good. Nanmu is doing like a new smart series, right? Like articulated dinosaurs, which looks pretty cool. Monster Arts is in it to make money. Repaints make lots of that. I have no issues with those repaints, even if I want nothing to do with them. Yeah. Every company's in the game to make money. Every company's going to do repaints. If you don't like them, don't buy them and move on with the rest of your day. Okay, there are too many people who are like, oh, these are problematic. These are bad for the line. These are bad for collecting. No, motherfucker, just don't buy them. Just don't buy them. Pandu Allen, it's nighttime there, right? Should you get some sleep, mate? It's morning here, but you're 12 hours later than I am, right? Yeah, it's about 10:20. I'm gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes, I think. 10 minutes. We'll have a 3-hour stream. I think that's good. Since we're all wishing, I want a good King Kong 1933 line with dinosaurs. I got enough monkey. Give me yeah, that's why I was so burnt out on NECA's King Kong stuff. I thought that they were going to do like their 3 or 4 Kong repaints, and then we were going to get a T-Rex, and then we never got a T-Rex. Favorite King Ghidorah design? GMK 2001. If Monster Arts does a GMK Ghidorah, I will buy it, even though I don't really buy Monster Arts. GMK is my favorite. Michael, Japan is very big on spoiler culture, so you won't be seeing stuff outside of Godzilla and Kong from the new movie until after the movie releases in Japan. Western market is different, though. Very important to know for sure. Godzilla 98 was described by Toho as having the spirit of Godzilla, though. Also, first G to have a metallic color on the spikes, so WG98. Was Godzilla 98 described as by Toho as having the spirit of Godzilla? Didn't they make... I thought I heard, maybe this is misinformation, right? So, like, someone's gonna have to fact check me on this one. But I thought that they specifically said that they made Orga in the shape of Godzilla 98 just so they could, like, blow him up. I believe people love Zilla as its own thing, but not as Godzilla. Kind of like how we like Doug and love him being connected to Goji, but not necessarily as a Godzilla. Yeah, that's a... I feel that. Like, as a Godzilla, I think that Zilla falls short. But I still think he's a cool design, and I think that the movie is a good monster movie. I'd like another Godzilla movie as a period piece, maybe in the 70s. I definitely would love to see another period piece. Inugami Guru, I would have loved a V-Rex. Me too. NECA. They should have done it. Corey's already debunked this one. Wasn't Playmates making a 1933 King? Yeah, this was pretty much disproven. Zilla animated feature does have their own mecha. Yeah, it was like Cyberzilla, I think they called it. I love when Haya makes good stuff, but I don't understand why every time they do a good thing, it means Monster Arts is over. Me too. Every time they come out with something, it's just like, oh, Monster Arts is cooked. Monster Arts is done. Monster Arts is gonna be fine, guys. Don't worry. You don't want one company to have a monopoly. That's the worst thing that you could have happen. Right? You should have multiple companies, and you should have everyone striving to do their best. Final War scene, Zilla got destroyed. Yeah, Zilla got cooked. Every company is Mr. Krabs, basically. Yep. True. As hit or miss NECA was, I wish there was an affordable $25 to $35 Godzilla figure line aimed at collectors. Playmates are cool for kids, and Super 7 are too expensive, in my opinion. I think that there's room for like a NECA competitor. I do feel like Haya is sort of filling that space right now, even though they are a little bit more expensive than what NECA would probably be charging in today's dollars. I could see NECA charging like $40 for $45 for their figures, which is still a little bit less than what Haya is doing. Lataro Toho said that, and then they backpedaled the fuck out of there. They always played Hero afterwards, which is disgusting. They approved the design and said it had the spirit of Godzilla. All right, I'll take your word for it. I was 4 years old when it came out, so I didn't really follow a lot of the Zilla Zilla discourse. Duncan, oh yeah, the 98 movie wasn't a good Godzilla movie at all, but the monster itself was great and the show was great from what I remember. Yeah, I agree with that. Pandu Allen, I would love NECA to make PJ Kong line with V-Rex, since Monster Arts Peter Jackson Kong is overpriced now. And when you say it's overpriced, you mean like the secondary market, right? Like the secondary market has really taken off. Because at the time, how much did it cost? I have the articulation website up over on this tab over here. So back in 2013, Kong was $65. I feel like that's a fair price. Have you watched any of the Big Action Bill vids? No, but this is like the 6th or 7th time that it's come up, so I feel like I should watch it. I should watch some of the stuff. I feel Toho did that because it was their first time dealing with big time Hollywood. Maybe. Can NECA make other King Kong designs since they have the license? So the licensing rights around King Kong are really muddy. I don't know if I understand it enough, but my best understanding is that you can make figures adapting the King Kong book as long as your King Kong does not look too much like other people's King Kongs. That is my understanding. So yeah, you're talking about the aftermarket. Yeah, the aftermarket for most Monster Arts figures, if they don't get released, if they don't get a reissue or re-release, yeah, they're obnoxiously high. Would Godzilla or Megamind with prep time win? Megamind solos. I'm just gonna go out and say I don't think that they should fight. They should work together. They are all to blame. Wink, wink. I was on AliExpress and saw a bootleg 2005 King Kong holding Kong's axe. That does sound like something you would find on AliExpress, doesn't it? Corey, yes, only the 1932 King Kong novelization is public domain. 1933 is still owned by RKO until 2029. Every other version is owned by someone. Right. I'm not sure how YMSF is able to get away with making Kong and Mechanic Kong stuff, but like they're doing it. So yeah. I want a 62 King Kong. Even if it looks terrible, it wouldn't be much different than the suit. Yeah, I mean, the suit is kind of funky looking, but I think that's part of the charm. Like, I would definitely buy a Kong 62, not because I think that the character is anything special, but because, you know, it's just it's like a legacy type thing. Is King Kong 2005 or 98 a better representation of the original monsters in your opinion? Oh, King Kong 2005, like by far. By far. Oh my god, I don't even think it's close. Like design wise, yeah, by far Peter Jackson's King Kong is a better interpretation. I would also like to see Super 7 do a Final Wars Goji and just Final War monsters in general. I don't think Super 7 will get to Final Wars. I think they've said that they said that the plan is to do Heisei, to dabble with Millennium, and then go back and start doing Showa. Eventually you get to a point where it's like, okay, do people want a Final Wars Manda figure, a Final Wars Hedorah figure, a Final Wars Ebera figure, or should we start making stuff for the Showa crowd? Like Showa Mechagodzilla, Showa King Caesar, Godzilla 1955, Ryan Garros 1955. The question is, how far into Millennium do you want Super 7 to get before they go back to Showa? I would die for a King Kong Escapes 5 XL set, but that'll never happen. Yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate. I just want more Zilla stuff. Zilla needs more representation for sure. Do you generally prefer Godzilla as a bad guy or as a good guy? That's a really good question. I think by and large, I enjoy the movies where Godzilla is more of an antagonistic force than when he is a protagonistic force, like the Monsterverse. Like, I love the Monsterverse, don't get me wrong. But I think that Shin Godzilla, Godzilla -1, GMK, that's my favorite Godzilla movie ever, is GMK. I think I do generally prefer Godzilla as a bad guy. Manda is the only Final Wars kaiju I would want. I can respect that. Final Wars Manda looks awesome. Is there a singular point Manda figure? I don't think so. Tokyo SOS for sure. Yeah, like Super 7 is definitely going to make Tokyo SOS. Like Kyu is far too popular to ignore. What's your favorite King Kong design? I really like the Peter Jackson one. GMK Kaiju, all of them? Agreed. Favorite Millennium movie? GMK. GMK is my favorite movie, full stop. Why does it seem like it's hard to get the Godzilla 98 license, and whenever something comes out, it always sells very fast? So I think, Michael, I think you've actually answered your own question. I think because there is so little Godzilla 98 merchandise that when it does get made, people scoop it up really quickly. Singular Point Manda is my favorite version of Manda, the Deep Sea. I do think that Singular Point Manda is cool. I do think that Final Wars is my favorite version of him, but Singular Point is pretty cool. Wait, is there a Singular Point Bandai MMS? I must have missed it. Just wasn't paying attention then. I will take any form of Baragon that I can get. GMK, Showa, totally, we'll do it. Okay, so there is a Singular Point Manda. Didn't we get an antagonist Godzilla in GVK? In that movie, he was scary for the first time. I guess technically true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Duncan, I ordered Super 7 -1. Will be my first Super 7, but I'm still debating getting the Monster Arts. The head just so goofy looking and that price. The thing about the Monster Arts one is it does seem to me as though there is a lot of inconsistency in the eye application, to the point where I'm certain that there is some kind of issue at the factory. And I just don't want to pay 200 Canadian dollars for a figure where the eyes might very well be fucked up. Like there's like a 15 or 20% chance that it's messed up. I just don't want to pay that. Small supply runs sell out fast. Yep. Mike, hot damn, he's still going strong. We are winding down the stream, but I am still here. I think the coolest way to represent Godzilla as an antagonist to other monsters as protagonists like GMK and the majority of GVK. It's definitely not a popular interpretation, right? It's not often you see other monsters being the protagonist against Godzilla being an antagonist, but GMK did it, and I love GMK. I'd love a Showa Monster Arts Anguirus. I would too. My understanding is that Anguirus's design inherently doesn't lend well to toy manufacturing. So if we ever do get like an Ultimates or a Monster Arts Anguirus, expect the price tag to be much higher to reflect the difficulties with manufacturing. Do I have Revoltech Baragon? I do not, unfortunately. Every Singular Point Kaiju except Rodan and Bugs had MMS figures. Not Mechagodzilla. I'm just kidding. I thought Godzilla was scary in 54 if you immerse yourself in the film. Yes. You know, for Super 7's Final Wars wave, I wouldn't put it past them to do Geo 4 versus Zilla. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them either. I was pretty afraid of Godzilla in G84 when I was a kid. I didn't know that G84 existed as a movie until I was in university. So by that time, I was a little bit too old to be scared by Godzilla. Super 7 would master GMK Goji. I agree. I at my interview with Kyle, I told him, I said, you know, I hope you guys do an articulated jaw for GMK Goji, but I hope that you also do a static head where he has like the snarl from the first time he does his atomic breath. I would love a reaction GMK Godzilla. I would buy the whole cast of GMK in reaction. Buying SH figures is like gambling at this point, at least half their figures. Kong is always the hero no matter what. Is he? Kinda... Is that true? Kyle gives a thumbs up, proceeds to fall over. We're getting there. Seriously, a Mechagodzilla Singular Point MMS would be dope as hell. I agree. 84 is a movie I always want to like, but I just can't. Same with Mechagodzilla 2. Mechagodzilla 2 is kind of underwhelming. I love Biollante and Destoraya. Absolutely. Synchronize. What would your ideal first Showa wave from Super 7 be? Synchronize. I was going to wind down the stream, but now you've asked me a very thoughtful question. Okay. So, there are two potential Showa waves that I would love to see Super 7 debut with. That being said, I think there are two things that you need to do with a Showa wave. I think that you need to lead with characters that will sell well to show that, like, because Showa is not the most popular era, right? So you need to open up with characters that will sell well. But I think you also need to open up with characters that have not historically had the most attention in the Showa series. So the first potential Showa wave that I could see is a Godzilla 55 versus Anguirus 55 wave. I think that having Godzilla in the wave is important because Godzilla always sells relatively well. But then you have Anguirus 55, who there's never been an articulated action figure of Anguirus 55. We just got like the Bandai vinyl, but that's not an articulated action figure. So I think that would be a really powerful wave to open up Showa with. The second idea for a Showa, like the debut Showa wave, would be Mechagodzilla 74 versus King Caesar. Mechagodzilla 74 is always going to sell well. You know, below Godzilla, Mechagodzilla is like the next highest selling character. But then again, King Caesar has not had that representation, that love. So Mechagodzilla versus King Caesar is the second wave I would open up Showa with. Of course, I know nothing about what Super 7 plans to do. These are just my thoughts. I would be very curious to see what they come up with as well. Previous topic, I think Final War would be ideal. Super 7 do the sheer amount of figures you could do. And Reaction, they'll probably do all the stuff, but not in Ultimates. I love all the classic Monster Art stuff I've got. Cool. Hai is about to cook with all these legendary Godzilla forms after seeing reviews of the translucent Godzilla. I have the translucent in the mail. I'm waiting to get it from Kaukus. I want it. Kong is always the hero, especially against Godzilla. I don't know, man. Sergeant Jordan, take care of your family first and foremost. Pass on what you love. Signing off. Have a great night, weekend. Good night. Sergeant Jordan, you're probably already gone, but thank you so much. Your financial support during this stream has been very much appreciated. I hope you have a great night. Cheeto, was Gorosaurus a Kong villain or a Godzilla villain? I forgot. He was a Godzilla ally, and he was something that Kong fought as well. Honestly, if there was a version of 84 that mixes with 85, the message of 84 with some of the 85 editing would create one of the best Godzilla movies. I need to revisit 84. Gorosaurus started as a Kong villain. Okay. New Super 7 would do it, baby. Funny to have a meme smile of GMK. That would be funny. King Ghidorah Super 7 with original colors would be cool too. Not sure if it'd sell. So you're talking about like the red, blue, and gold? I think that's coming. 100%. I think that's coming. What's your favorite SH figure? It's probably my Biollante. It falls apart very easily, but I do love my Biollante. I don't have too many. Actually, no. My favorite SH monster figure that I own is Godzilla Jr., the initial one. I have the original one. If I can get a good deal on that Monster Arts Biollante, is it worth it? If you can find a good deal, I think it's worth it, but I doubt you will be able to find a good deal because it's a Monster Arts figure. I want an Ultimates King Ghidorah. Oh, don't we all? Don't we all? All right, gang. We've been going 3 hours. It is approaching 11 o'clock at night here. I will be signing off now. Thank you all so much for attending. It has been so nice to be able to chat with you folks. I'm so glad I got to share the status of the channel, where we're at and where we're heading. And I hope that we can do more like this more often. These streams are a lot of fun, and they are relatively easy to set up on my end. So, yeah. Take care, folks. Have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. I should have some content out in the next few days. So, thank you so much. I will talk to you again soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.